he would lose his goddamn mind if he heard you say that.
Yeah,
He,
but you see what happens when you go to Duke. Do you see what happens when you go to Duke?
Talk about it.
hey
Talk
man,
about
Do
this
you
ain't the
see?
season because I'm a Carolina guy. And this is not the season for me to be saying nothing.
Oh, I'm here. We here,
But
baby. Like Tony Young
yeah,
Nation all
man.
day.
Right now, I can't say nothing because of Hubert Davis.
it. Okay, well, fuck it.
We ain't
As
worried
the
about.
hold on,
We ain't worried about him. We ain't worried
as the
about him.
other UNC guy, I'm gonna fuck around and say it. I'd rather be labeled as a coon than be a Duke.
Um,
Listen,
before we record, sure. I mean, why not? But when we're on the air, I'm not saying
Oh no, we record.
that.
Fuck it, I said it.
Well,
Imagine that.
man. There you go.
I would never see people are getting this Hubert Davis thing incorrect. He didn't say that he was proud of his white wife. He said he was proud that his wife was white. That is very different than what everybody is running with. He's
I
not
love
proud of
my
anything.
That's still
wife.
wild. That's still wild.
Yes, yeah, bro. Like it's not like he's not like because you can say I'm proud of my white wife for the strong person she. No, he said I am proud that my wife is white.
That's crazy.
The context clues makes that statement extremely horrible. Oh man,
Yeah, Donnie, that shit
It's
you were
just
saying
bad.
last week, that shit looked like Rob Riggle was crazy.
that's what they were saying. They said she looked like Rod River. They said she looked like Agatha from WandaVision. They was going in on her.
That shit was wild.
I mean, what was a lie told?
I'm just,
I mean,
and think about Hubert Davis. Hubert Davis averaged 9 points and 5 rebounds. We, and usually those niggas make the best coaches. Those are
They do.
the best coaches are the point guards and the niggas who average like 8 and 8. Like I say this all the time. Like Matthew Dellavedova is gonna be a great Australian coach overseas. Because all he has had to do is sit down. And a lot of people thought that Luke Walton would be a coach, but that's Bill Walton's son. So as much knowledge as he has about the game, he's been high out of his mind for 30 years of his life. so
hey
yeah.
man.
But yeah.
Hey, this is Show Your Work, volume 16. Got another episode with my guy, the Beige Alchemist, aka Beige Man X Banks. What's happening with you? And what's up, bro?
Nah, I wasn't gonna say shit. I'm getting to that moment where I'm about to start to sound like somebody drunk uncle. Yeah, you already know who the fuck we here and all that shit.
Slurring like Pimp C and shit.
Yeah.
But hey, we got another episode with some very packed episode with some very special guests or friends of the show. First off, we got my guy who came with the title last week of AJ and the Great Kadeem, a classic episode.
Yay.
My guy
Hey.
Donny Luche. What's good, Donny?
What's up, fam? What's up? I'm not doing much. I'm just house shopping for the first time.
Nah, I
Crazy.
feel you, bro.
Congratulations on that.
Congrats.
Yeah, nobody told me that this should be moving fast. like you'll have a house and that should be going in 7 hours.
Yeah, man. For real. But also we got our guy Earl, friend of the show, guests from the stands. My guy Earl, what's going on?
Man, what's good with y'all, man? Appreciate y'all having me on. You know, it's always good. Definitely, it's my second or third time on here. One of the two, but for sure, like, you know, it's always fun to chat up with y'all boys. You know, you've definitely done the what would they call it in the record business? The swap for the swap. So this is pretty much what is this? My Mr. Carter for when I had y'all on for Hello Brooklyn.
Yeah, no fees.
No fees. We just saw records. It's all good.
And last but not least, we got our guy, fellow RAOP Patreon member, my guy Marcel. Marcel, what's going on, bro? What's happening?
What's good with y'all fellas, man? What's good? You know, first time. I appreciate the love y'all giving me. Appreciate for being on here, man. Thank you.
First time, not the last time.
For sure.
For sure. So, all right. So I guess we could get into it already. The WrestleMania aftermath. Night one was great. Night two was cool too, but I think night one is really what got everybody feeling right. I think they did it right this year. I'm not gonna lie. There's not really any bad matches. There was some kind of bores, little weird things here and there, but overall, all I'm gonna say is before I let y'all go, Bad Bunny's better than Kenny Omega. Okay, go ahead.
You got to
All right,
relax on that.
You funny. What I will say about night one was fire, but I'm not gonna lie. Had we not been on Clubhouse in the room, night two would have been terrible. Like that was what made night two fire alone, was just being in there, chopping it up with y'all. But as far as matches, I mean, look, we know what happened. The tribal chief reigned supreme again, pun intended or no pun intended. But I mean, night two, it was cool to get a regular start time because there was no raining out and all that other kind of stuff. But man, me personally, I got more to say on night one because night two, again, it just didn't hit like that, man. It didn't.
God was reminding Vince, like, hey man, don't fuck with me, all right? God reminded Vince on night one. He said, yeah, I remember what you did at Backlash, bro.
Yeah, night two was definitely to me was booty cheeks after the last match, especially match one with the Fiend and Randy Orton. 5 minutes, 6 minutes. It should have been better. Fiend should have got that dub, but hey, who's the one I can say to get that fucking dub to him?
That match was mad weird, honestly. I was just like, oh, that's it? It's over? And the entrance was great. Like, the entrance was really good. Like, Fiend had a great entrance, but then after that, I was just like, okay.
Yeah, we getting a build up to Alexa versus the Fiend. How this gonna play out, I don't know. So I'm excited for it. I like the storyline. I like the storyline. It's fun. It's crazy, some weird shit. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, that match actually was 5 minutes and 50 seconds.
Hilarious. But night one was 10 out of 10.
For sure.
Like, because you wanna know, actually the delay made night one for me a 10 out of 10 because they was delayed for 30 minutes. And Vince was just like, hey, he got his best talkers to just go riff for like 30 minutes. Like, we ain't like riff for 30 minutes. He like you see, you start off with, okay, it's a rain delay, but then you see, all right, Drew and Bobby going at it backstage, and then they pan the Kevin Owens. No, did they pan the New Day before KO?
Yeah, I think.
I was trying to think.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it was Xavier.
Yeah, so then they
Xavier
pan
and Kofi, and then Biggie popped up.
Kofi didn't talk about he got that wet mouth, and then they pan, and then they Biggie is stupid. And then they pan the KO, and KO did KO, and I was like, "Oh shit! If this is delayed for another 30 minutes, I'll take just people just riffing and shit like that." So night one was a 10 out of 10. Night two was alright. You know what I'm saying? I fuck with the Brody tribute. I fuck with that. A lot of people been commenting on Bray's weight. I'd say the reason why Bray lost a lot of weight is because he was depressed and he was mourning his brother. So that played, like, as lean as he looks, losing Brody helped, like, played into that. So even though he probably was eating right, but like losing his brother played a lot into it. I can believe. So that tribute was fire. The match was trash. It ended with one RKO is hilarious because Randy the next night was just like, I'm done with this shit. I don't do this no more. But yeah, the tribal chief keeping two white men, and incels from having their moment. I'm always a component of that. You know what I'm saying? I knew Jey Uso was coming back. I either figured that Jey would help with this match or Jey and Jimmy would help win this and the bloodline would fully be formed. But I think they probably gonna wait for that. Some shit. They probably gonna wait for that. I don't know when, but they probably gonna wait for that. But nah. Night one, it was eons better than night two.
Can we talk about Oh, go ahead.
Then I get Marcel. No, I was gonna say a quick thing about Biggie. Biggie dead ass that friend in junior high school used to say some wild sus stuff and think of, and like try to like just for shock value. That was big. When Biggie said, I'm like, bro, you were definitely that one kid in junior high who did that shit. Like just to like throw people, just to make people uncomfortable. But go ahead, Marcel.
Oh, talk about the Nigerian drum fight and
Oh,
how
God.
Millie Vanilli came in at the end of it. I don't know who the fuck this dude is.
Hey, Millie Vanilli got me
Hey,
crying. He
respect my guy.
he was
Dabo
on Raw
Kunta.
Underground.
Oh, okay.
Banks,
Banks, you call him
now.
You call him Dabo Kunta? That's what you call him?
Dabo Kunta. Respect my guy, Dabo Kunta.
Motherfucker sound like a Star Wars character and built like Jar Jar Binks.
Man, no lie.
But yeah, that match right there was I don't know, man. It wasn't all that
5
great.
stars, Marcel.
Stand up.
When you gonna do your DNA test, bro? I found out I'm Nigerian. I'm 56% Nigerian, so I'm here.
Hey, hold up, low key. We might get a Nigerian celebration tomorrow. Because when he won, if you heard him, he was like, "I need a parade." It might be lit if we get a Nigerian celebration tomorrow.
They just gonna put you know like when they do ladder matches, like they got the ladders like already. They gonna have credit card readers.
Nah, nigga, what they gonna do is they gonna start the parade either from Ybor City, but they gonna start that bitch from Busch Gardens and just march all the way down to the arena. And
that's
go
hilarious.
crazy.
From Ybor City. That's wild, bro. Yeah. That match is. I was just like, bro, Vince saw, like I said in the last episode, like I think Vince saw coming to America. So okay, I think this is gonna work.
Man, I was racially offended by that, but not too much to where I turned it off.
Yeah, man. But you know,
it's just something about
nobody got hit with a drum.
It's just something about white people
that's the part right there.
8 times a year watching that match just didn't sit right with me. But I don't know.
If Biggie would have got hit upside the head with one of them drums, would have been the icing on the cake. But nobody got hit with a drum.
He just threw it. No, didn't like Cruz just throw him into a drum or throw him on the table? Like I vaguely remember that. Something like that's how fast it was. I'm
something just like that.
Then fucking Dabba-Kato comes out of nowhere. I'm like, bro, why?
If Apollo would have went Nick Cannon on one of them drums for like 5 minutes. I would have liked that.
Cannon on the drum.
If he would have went one band, one sound on one of them drums, nigga. Oh man.
Nah, yo, you are wilding right
That's hilarious.
If he would have stopped in the middle of the match and went full last 10 minutes of drum line. Yes.
That's hilarious.
And then Apollo goes like Funk Flex with the BBL.
That's horrible.
That was the funniest shit I seen that night. Oh my god, bro!
Horrible.
I was wild. Wait till we get to the tag match, but that's later. But yeah, that match was, I don't know, bro. I guess I expected better, but then when I saw Nigerian drum fight, I said, okay, this is gonna be a nasty match.
Yep, match was
disgusting.
How y'all feel about Big E losing in his hometown at WrestleMania after that whole build-up?
I mean, it's the WWE. That's what they do.
Hey, if Wale bring me to the ring, please make me lose and please take my life.
Yo, y'all gotta stop slandering Wale and Coach. You too. Trust me. I know what. Now, to be fair,
I don't like Wale, but he got my respect because he watched wrestling.
I used to live up there, so I know why Coach don't fuck with Wale. And we can definitely speak about that off air, but Coach, you gotta relax, man.
Nigga, he been rapping the same since 07. I was listening to him in LA in 07. This nigga still rapping the same with them Death Poetry Jam.
I mean, look, man. Am I a Wale stan? No, but hey, man, that's his bag. Some people got a bag and they stay in that bag.
The DMV has DMV people. They have a iffy opinion on Wale. Like all of them. It's not
all of them.
Wale got
Wale had you're either literally friends with that nigga or it's fuck that nigga. Like it's no in between.
And when it comes from hometown people, that's not where you want to be.
I was like, damn, Wale about to perform Lotus Flower Bomb on stage.
But God is so good because as soon as that nigga came out on stage, I promise you on my life, I fell asleep.
Hey, you are
Yo,
hell, bro.
Deb
I
Banks
promise
texted me
you,
like,
right-handed guy, bro.
Nah, Banks woke up and texted me like, "Damn, Roman about to win." I said, "Bro, where have you been, brother?"
I was out. Me and that nigga and Eric recorded till like 5:30 in the morning. So I was
Them
like,
Yeah,
guys.
y'all was tripping. Y'all was tripping.
After night one, I went home because I was with my girl's family, bro. I knocked out like at 2 something, bro. I was like, "Fam, I'm going to sleep. I can't do this, bro."
Had we not been on Clubhouse, bro, I don't know that I would have made it through night 2, bro. Because that shit, man.
Had we had a night one Clubhouse, that would have been crazy. But it's all good.
No, it's a fact.
I was home for night 2, but yeah, night 2, night for me, man. Night 1 was just the only match like I would say was it was ball. Maybe it was Braun and Shane, but like it's a Shane McMahon match. Like I don't really
shit was ass.
Yeah, I mean it was funny. Shane got fucking Braun ripped the cage on him and then tossed him in the ring. Like that's what you expect from Shane McMahon matches. So I was cool with that.
I got one.
Yeah,
I got one question.
What's up?
Did Shane take the second dose of the vaccine before that match?
Bro,
because real talk, he fell on his back. And so if he has to go take a dose of the vaccine after doing that, he need that's all I thought about. I was like, I hope he got both those Pfizer shots. Because if he got to take them Pfizer shots after this, nigga,
he gonna be wheezing like Jay-Z in the beginning of Lyrical Exercise.
Yeah.
Also, ever since he returned on screen that one time, everybody's been like, "Yo, what's wrong with this nigga? Is he okay?"
No, I mean,
is he fine? I was like,
it's because you know what it is. Vince got more pride in Triple H than he do Shane McMahon. Let's just call it what it is. All right.
Bro, that picture of Triple H with Bianca, Rhea, and Raquel smiling. I was like, I hope y'all know why Triple H so happy. It's because these are his NXT children. All the leaders of the new school right now, the Baileys, the Sashas, those are Dusty's kids. The Charlottes, all the Dusty's children. He finally got all the Dusty's kids out of that program.
That's
like
crazy.
There's nobody left.
There's
nobody left. Probably.
Not good, Donnie. My fault.
Yeah, I was about to say like it's not many people left that are Dusty disciples. You know what I'm saying? Like, because shit, Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford are Dusty disciples. People don't realize that. So, like, everybody that's currently in NXT right now are Hunter's kids. Like, you know what I'm saying? Mark mentioned Bianca to Hunter. Like, Mark Henry and Hunter. You know what I'm saying? Like, those two people. So, like, that's why he's so happy. That's why he'll, I think I said this like a couple of weeks ago. There are three women that are probably going to get 10 title reigns in WWE. Charlotte's already won. Becky is going to have this ridiculous, like when Becky comes back, she's going to have like 8 title reigns in like 3 years. That's going to happen. And Rhea, because Rhea's 24. So she has 10 whole years.
10 to 12 years of just
bro, like Rhea is this, like, you know how Cena like took over in 07? When 07 it was definitive that he was the post Attitude Era king. Rhea Ripley is going to be set up to be the post 4 horsewoman, like she's going to be the bar. And like motherfuckers is talking about these Oscar matches right now. I'm like, man, in 2020, 2024, 2025, she's going to be well polished because she's going to have all the resources to get to that point. Yeah, that's
who do y'all think is the first 4 horsewomen to fall off or possibly retire?
Becky.
I probably
Becky.
I'll probably say Charlotte.
Becky or Sasha, because Sasha had said something about being a Hall of Famer at 30, and I'm like, girl, shut up. I don't.
Nah, Sasha. If she stops
Listen,
now,
man.
She's a Hall of Famer.
Respectfully,
yeah, I know that.
I'm gonna make a comparison because I've been known to make these. You know who Sasha Banks is? Sasha Banks is the Jacob deGrom of wrestling. Okay, she don't get the wins or losses, but she been giving you some quality motherfucking matches, bro.
Okay,
this gonna sound crazy, but as
a Met fan who gets pissed off when Jacob deGrom pitches and we only have 1 run or 2 runs for him, I take it that way. Where like, regardless whether the circumstances, whoever she's going against, whoever she's paired with, she'll give you. She'll, yes, the promos may not be there, but match wise, what Sasha and Bianca did like was stellar, and she's done that with a lot of other people when it comes to Asuka, the other four horsewomen, whoever. Like, so yeah.
Yeah, like this is gonna sound crazy, but as far as work rate goes, she's as far as working, to me she's like female savage. Because Randy can work with anybody any size. So Sasha can work with Ronda, Sasha can work with Alexa, Sasha can work with Nia Jax. Any one of those women she can work with. You know what I'm saying? So like her work rate is crazy. And like to me, she's the best wrestler of the four horsewomen because them other three women couldn't make Bianca look like that. Like not that. Now Bayley could do a hell of a good job, but not like that. It'd be very different. And first of all, Becky and Charlotte wouldn't put her over. So
definitely Charlotte. Definitely Charlotte. Fuck her. She can suck a dick.
Yeah. That promo was horrible.
What promo?
Charlotte's promo Monday.
Oh yeah.
That promo was that CM Punk Roman Reigns ass promo she did with no shoes on. Like, it was horrible.
With no
number
shoes.
One, because first with no shoes on. Number one.
So Charlotte's Eric Benet is what you telling me?
Yeah, fam. Like first of all, don't be bringing up Naomi. Naomi don't be doing nothing to nobody. Like Naomi, who are you bringing up? You bring up Lana and Dana Brooke. Don't be bringing up Naomi. Don't bring it up. Number two, don't be bringing up Bianca. She just won. She just won. Matter of fact, when you beat Bianca last year, nobody liked that shit. Like nobody liked that you beat Bianca.
I think her time in WWE might be coming to an end pretty soon. In my opinion,
she ain't got nothing else to do.
No, it ain't. Not at all.
Not soon.
They're gonna push her to for sure beat her dad as far as title reigns, and then they're gonna push her to set the bar so high. Like the thing with her, while I understand what you're saying from the attitude standpoint, the thing with her is if we could just be transparent here, she is quintessential of what they want to hold on to the golden age of wrestling, right? Mm-hmm. She is the female version of blonde hair, tight build, high posture, Anglo-Saxon, just like the 80s.
Yeah, Anglo-Saxon. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's a quintessential Anglo-Saxon wrestler. Continue, Earl.
Because think about it like this: Bayley is a dark-haired. She's Latino, correct?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah,
I want to make sure. Latinx. Okay. And Sasha is
half black, half white,
blackish. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
She's a white woman with a black father.
Yes. No. All jokes. She is a black woman.
Oh my god.
She is a black woman, and then Becky is of course Irish American, correct?
Irish
American.
Oh, she's
okay.
Irish.
Well, she's just playing. She's Irish. Okay.
Yeah.
Charlotte is everything of the gold WWF standard. She is pretty high build, blonde. That's why I think she's never really experimented with the color of her hair either. All the other ones have. She's never experimented with the color of her hair. She is blonde, up build, athletic, strong. It cuts great promos, except unlike 80s wrestlers, she's a workhorse. So you get the best of both worlds. You get today's work with an 80s style aura, but it's flipped for the 2000s. You know what she is? She is remember how Marvel made Captain America cool? That is essentially what Charlotte did. What happened with Charlotte as far as what her build is. Like they made that style wrestler cool today. So I think that she holds them. I say all of that to say I think she holds the mantle for what is the quintessential. This is the standard. She's the world heavyweight championship of women's wrestling.
I would agree.
Yeah.
She's the placeholder. She's the if this doesn't work, okay, well we could put on Charlotte and Charlotte will get, Charlotte's guaranteed to bring some viewers or heat, whichever how that works.
Definitely Heat now.
Well,
Definitely Heat.
well, now I think now considering the quality of the women's division now, like yeah, Charlotte's up there, but then it wasn't at one point where it was like okay, it was Charlotte, and then everybody. It's like Charlotte was at the top, and everybody was at the bottom looking up. No, like you got a good 3, 4, 5, 6 women who can win the championship, and you don't have to go to Charlotte every week. You still got Sasha, you got Bianca, you got Rhea now, you have Asuka, you know, you have whenever Becky comes back, like you have a good amount of women who can hold their own. So it's not like when it was at one point where it's like it was Charlotte versus everybody. Like nah, like it's like everybody. It's like the division caught up to Charlotte at one point. Now that there's belts, now that they're winning belts, it's a whole different ballgame now. You know?
Yeah, yeah. When it comes to the horsewomen, I always compare them. Like let's take it to high school. So for me, I compare them to high school. So in high school, so Becky is if we're in high school, Becky is the loudmouth softball player, right? Like she plays softball, and that's all she plays. She cracks jokes in class and shit like that. She's very tomboyish. Like Sasha, she's the head cheerleader. She's very popular. She's athletic. You know what I'm saying? She's athletic. Bailey, I always compare Bailey, which is why I always say Bailey is in storyline. Bailey is Charlotte hates in storyline. Charlotte hates Bailey because I look at Bailey as like a math geek. So like when Bailey beat Charlotte, like Bailey cashing in on Charlotte, Charlotte hate like it's like Charlotte Bailey is the one person of the horsewomen that Charlotte can't sleep at night because she got beat by Bailey. Charlotte can handle losing to Becky. She can handle losing to Sasha. She cannot handle losing to Bailey because Bailey's the math geek. And Charlotte, she's the triathlete. She runs track. She plays basketball. She plays volleyball.
Yep.
That's how she's positioned. Plays volleyball. Sasha and Bailey are best friends because in every movie or in every like scenario, the cheerleader and like the math geek live next door to each other for some reason. So that's why they're friends. And Bailey and Becky's just like she plays softball and she really just stays to herself. And Charlotte's the motherfucker that's on she's in all the newspapers. Everybody comes to the school to see her. You know what I'm saying? She always getting interviewed. She has all the trophies on the wall. Her dad used to go to the school. He was a star quarterback. He brought him to 4 straight state championships.
No, you cooking,
around.
bro. You are cooking.
Yeah,
you are cooking.
Like that's who she is. And like Becky looks at Charlotte and goes, "Hey." Sasha looks at Charlotte and goes, "Bitch, if I played, I'd dust you in basketball. Don't let these pom poms fool you. I'll fuck you up in volleyball." And Bailey's just like, well, I just won like first place at speech and debate. You guys want to go get some pizza? Like that, that's Bailey.
Right.
And Sasha's like, bitch, I'll go. Come on, let's go get some pizza. And Becky's like, nah, I'm going home. And Charlotte's like, who are you? That's who Charlotte is.
It is high school. Absolutely. It is high school.
Yeah, very.
Broke it down perfectly.
It's very like so like you see it every time when Charlotte and Bailey were in a program. It's just Charlotte just looks at this bitch with just disgust. And it's just like it's more satisfying when Bailey beats Charlotte than Sasha or Becky because you can just kind of feel the anger and the hate in Charlotte. But yeah, she's the triathlete. Like
this man spitting, y'all. You spitting?
Hey, bro.
God damn. That was a very accurate depiction. Hey, Banks, you got anything to say?
Yeah, I'm waiting for Marcel to talk. Come on, Marcel. This your first gig, bro.
Marcel.
Man, let me see, man. I was talking to Banks. We was on the podcast on Saturday. I'm 25, so I was a big fan of fucking TNA back in the early days, like fucking 05 to 10. I feel like that shit was way better than fucking WWE, and basically agree on that too.
Go ahead, preach. Keep going.
So we can talk about it. We can talk about how 05 to 10 was kicking WWE's ass, in matches, wrestlers, and even the commentary. That shit was fucking amazing. I
Let's
was going
go.
back and watching it. AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, Christopher Daniels. That was a fucking beast. Them X Division match, crazy. 5-star matches in my opinion.
You
But
know,
I want to know your opinion on how if TNA was buried in WWE back in '05 to 2010.
I'm gonna go first. Honestly, I kind of had tuned out of WWE by then, and I was watching some TNA matches, and from what I remember, I kind of was tuned out of wrestling altogether. But I do remember TNA having better matches compared to WWE because I remember seeing Styles, Samoa Joe. Obviously, I was a huge Sting fan, so I would like watch Sting when I could. There was the main event Mafia, Aces and Eights, and all them like. Oh,
Fuck
05 to
Aces
10.
8. Nah, Aces 8 was like 2013,
No, I
14.
was
That
later.
shit was
Actually, yeah, that
ass.
was later. Actually, yeah,
Yeah,
but
yeah, that shit was ass.
that's kind of when I got back. But like that time period was interesting to watch, seeing like all some of the WCW guys go to TNA. But hey, man, Styles and Joe. That's from what I remember from that time. Like Styles and Joe had great matches. Like they were giving us quality matches week after week. So
A1 quality, man. A1 quality matches. That shit
most
was
definitely,
amazing.
most definitely. What else? What y'all got to say, Earl and Banks and Donnie?
Far as what, just the matches that they put on in TNA.
Yeah, TNA at that
Yeah.
time.
Do you feel
You
like
know
TNA
what?
was better than WWE back in those days a little bit, in your opinion?
Okay, so I'll put it like this way: TNA was the wrestling quality wise the placeholder for what we look at NXT as today, right? Like we look, if you want to look at wrestling for WWE, you look at NXT. Essentially, that's what TNA was, or what our option was back then. So yeah, I would say it was better wrestling for sure. Storytelling, hell no. It was WCW diet and light. It was when they started that whole X division and then started the what was it, like a senior division? There was like a senior citizens belt almost one time they had like
You talking about
oh,
the TNA Legends belt?
yeah, bro, like come on,
Yeah.
bro, what we doing? And now, do y'all remember before
Hilarious.
we got the 24/7 belt, we thought it was going to be a Legends belt.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yep.
Yeah,
And
that's true.
Essentially, it is now.
yeah, yeah, true. True, but it's just like TNA. Yeah, I definitely, if I wanted to watch wrestlers work, for sure, I definitely used to watch that over WWE. But again, they couldn't tell stories for shit.
Yeah, I would say from 2005 to 2008, TNA was kicking their ass. From '08 to 2010, they was kind of making it. The reason why I say '08 to 10 is like when CM Punk won Money in the Bank at WrestleMania, that kind of it kind of shifted how WWE like markets people because CM Punk was very unordinary for what they usually have.
Yep.
And like it was that moment and it was what I consider the final moment of the crowning, the end of the Ruthless Aggression era when Jeff Hardy won the WWE title.
Mm-hmm.
Like that moment, that to me, that's the end of the Ruthless Aggression era because at that point they had done everything that they needed to do.
Yep.
Like that was like there was nothing else that they needed to have done. And like when he won, I'm just like, oh, that's it. That like so
and people,
like when what's up, bro?
no, and people can say what they want, bro. I know it's cool on the internet, especially our section of the internet and our section of Twitter, to hate on CM Punk. You can say what you want about him. What you cannot say is that his character arc did not impact the way that WWE was positively taken. I'm not gonna say he saved the company, but I will say that his character arc made things not stale anymore during an era when people were sick of seeing Cena and Edge and Batista in some variation and Randy Orton in some variation time after
I
time
agree
after
with that.
time again.
I agree with that. I agree.
Yeah, like because like even his like for years, like CM Punk, like there's always in WWE games, there's always, and it still happens to this day with even with WWE 2K20. The people that don't get a lot of a lot of TV time are always the people that are like the best on the WWE game. And for like 2 years, CM Punk was my go-to person on like
Oh, you
SmackDown
can win
versus
the
Raw.
Royal Rumble with him. You can win ladder matches
Bro,
with him. It don't matter. He was that character.
because of
yes.
like even his finisher, the GTS, like that's not like that's unsafe. Like,
Yeah,
like
definitely
when I
is.
first seen that on the episode of ECW, I was like, "What? That fam? This is nah. This is like you see a finisher like that, like it don't even look like WWE television." So it's like the beginnings with him was when I was like, oh, okay, well he kind of wrestles how like AJ Styles and Samoa Joe wrestled. Then you find out, he wrestled with the motherfuckers like back then. So it's okay,
Yep.
all right.
Back in Ring of Honor
it's
in,
just
in
like
early TNA days. Yeah, they
yeah.
Yeah,
were
Ring of Honor. Yep.
Then which is funny why he always talks about what he didn't get, and it's like nigga, you were the ECW champion, you were back-to-back Money in the Bank winner at WrestleMania at WrestleMania. Then like you were like world heavyweight champion, and then a year and a half later you were WWE champion. So like his like what they were doing with him kind of set the stage for NXT in 2010, and when the Nexus came out, of Daniel Bryan and Wade Barrett and all, and those two guys. So it set the stage for different types of wrestlers to come into the company.
That's a really good point.
And
because that's a really good point.
more of the indie wrestlers.
Right. It's like CM Punk was like the first person, like one of the first person I remember that really didn't have like a viral finisher. You know what I'm saying? Like the Sweet Chin Music and like the Stone Cold Stunner are like viral finishers.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's like they get 1 million views every time it happens. Like the GTS is very methodical. It's not fast. It's not, you know what I'm saying? It's not the RKO. It's not a spear. It's like he picks you up and he drops you on his knee.
It's an indie ass finisher.
It is an indie. It is a pure indie finisher. Yes,
I think, and you know what is funny because like Donnie, you bring this point up. I think because I'm gonna keep it real with you. I like CM Punk, but the way some people talk about it, I'm like, okay. But I think in a way, because I feel like especially with WWE, they fall into that trend where it's like they have like, okay, we have this archetype who's the champion, and everybody wants this to be champion. So we're gonna make everybody like this person, or make it somebody to this similar build. And then you kind of have to have a guy every couple of years that isn't your typical champion, or doesn't look like the last 3, 4, 5 champions that you need to shift. You need to kind of like turn everything upside down.
Yeah.
It's kind of like it's you know what it is? It's a how do I explain it? It's like a cultural reset. Like CM Punk, CM Punk was just a cultural reset to.
You can argue
larger than life guys. Like you had your Batistas, you had your Randy Ortons, you had your, Rock came back for a little bit. You had Cena, you had these guys that are larger than life that you could see everywhere. But then you have a guy like CM Punk who is not, he was recognizable, but he's not the most recognizable person who looks like $1 million and has the $1 million look. But it's a nice reset. Oh shit, this guy's the champion. Oh, let me see what he does. Oh shit, this guy's like wrestle with him. Oh, let me see what that like. It's just a very it's a shift.
You can honestly argue that CM Punk, without him and without his character, that indie style that we see in NXT is probably not accepted by WWE fans today. They tried it with Chris Jericho in the early 2000s, and it didn't connect the same. Because remember, when Jericho came about, if you look on, especially archives, they tried a lot of those indie acts, like AJ Styles had dark matches on Raw. Bobby Roode, who was Robert Roode at that time, and he went to Bobby, had dark matches on.
Also, Daniel Bryan had a match with John Cena on
Velocity.
Exactly, and they tried it with Velocity. And Chris Jericho kind of ushered that style in, right? Because it wasn't typical big blonde, this, that, and the third. It wasn't that. It was a different style. But if you look at what CM Punk does in summer of 2010 or summer of 2011, and even just his run, right? Without that, I don't know that WWE fans are ready to accept the volatile style of wrestling that is NXT. And we get into our nerd bag, but whatever. Like, I mean, I'm just calling it what it is.
Let's
I
go.
don't know that
That's fine.
fans are ready to see that yet. Like, I think that he ushered that in on the main stage. And without that, we may not have seen NXT guys get called up in the same way.
You know who I think really helped that though? I this probably sounds like a left field thing, but I'm just gonna say it. I feel like Jeff Hardy being his champion helped that shit too.
Probably did. I
Yeah,
can see that.
yeah.
Like, Jeff
That's why.
Hardy
That's
being
why. I
a
feel
Okay,
champion
like,
was
because he's a different type of person with the tattoos and paint all over his
Exactly.
Right.
face and
It's
shit
the-
like
Right.
that. Yeah,
But the thing was,
Yeah.
Jeff Hardy was. Damn, I don't want to say this because it sounds crazy, but okay. Batista, Cena, Randy Orton, Reigns was Bad Boy, and Jeff Hardy was like DMX in a weird way.
I
Mhm.
can see that. They were the shiny suit, and he was not.
He was just the
He was the
I'm
outlier,
grunge-
yes.
I'm the
Mhm.
grungy Jinko jean, mesh marina suit wearing, got tattoos all over me, colored hair. I'm different than all these guys, but I can wrestle with these motherfuckers, and I've been showing that for years. We saw Jeff Hardy wrestle. Obviously we know about the Undertaker match. We know about when Rob Van Dam came in. I always say when everybody talks about RVD and WWE, I'm like, yo, go watch them RVD Jeff Hardy matches. Like, yeah, fucking only one of them ended with an actual result, but they're better than probably any other match that was on them pay-per-views. So I feel like Jeff Hardy kind of like where CM Punk bought it over. Jeff Hardy kind of started that, and then obviously with Punk, it just kind of, Punk had the rocket on his back because he had more of the fans that Hardy did at that point. And then obviously Hardy had his troubles with, what he was going through. But I feel like
Right.
Punk pushed it over, but Hardy was kind of the beginning of like we don't need the big bulky motherfucker or the big good looking motherfucker to win championships. Like, anybody can win this. And I feel like with those type of championship reigns, that leads to NXT. Because some people prefer to see the 5'8", 5'9", maybe 200-pound guy who's not the tallest guy in the room win championships. Because they can out wrestle the dude who's 6'5" and 6'4", 6'3", 6'4", 6'5", 250 pounds, who looks like $1 million but can't do an arm drag. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like, so there's that shift of that balance where it's like, okay, I can watch this here. If not, then I'll watch the main show on Mondays and Fridays.
I like this talk we having.
You know what I'm saying? It's cultural shifts, man.
Yeah, and and to piggyback off of that, like we're now in a position in WWE where sometimes or a lot of times the indie style is too much. And so, like, prime example,
I agree.
like Bianca, when she did an interview with Cheap Heat and they brought in Montez. And so because she's never watched wrestling before, Montez had her watch Jazz, Ezekiel Jackson, Brock, like very much powerhouses, and Bianca wrestles a WWE style. So when I see Bianca wrestle, it's a breath of fresh air that she's not. I mean, she's being athletic, but she's not doing indie shit in the ring.
You're not flipping for 20 minutes.
Right. And I also suggest that some of these indie style ass niggas could use a WWE style like upgrade. Like, prime example, like imagine Cesaro. Like, imagine what would happen if like Vince gave Cesaro the clothesline from hell. Like that move right there, like the clothesline from hell, like JBL's finishing move. How much that would elevate Cesaro's style. Just that simple move. Like Adam Cole. If Adam Cole got called up and like Vince was like, hey, from now on, the last shot is your signature. Your finisher, I'm gonna give you. Yeah, I remember Mr. Kennedy's the mic check. Y'all remember that move?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like,
yeah.
imagine giving Adam Cole the mic check. Whereas, like, he don't have to kick you in the back of the head. He can just do that finishing move. That finishing move translates to any type of wrestler outside of like the Big Show or Almost. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Like outside of anybody too huge, he can use that. You know what I'm saying? He can use it on anybody. So like some of these indie wrestlers, if you just give them a WWE style upgrade, shit, it'll help them out in the long run. I mean, shit, just Adam Cole being on NXT has elevated his career to the point where I like that he could go on the main roster. Like, put him in, like, you put Adam Cole in the U.S. title picture, you give him the Money in the Bank briefcase. he could sell that because he can talk and he has a fucking catchphrase that's over with the crowd. So it's, yeah.
Right. I feel the same with like Cesaro too. Like I feel like with a lot of these guys, like the Cesaros, the Adam Coles, it's like, listen, like for the people, we're not at. This isn't 1997, 1998, 1999 anymore, where dudes were coming from either WCW or going from local regional territories to WCW, WWF, or even, I mean, not even ECW, but like. It wasn't like, okay, unless I was up at 2 a.m. watching public access TV and I was watching ECW, that I know this guy could wrestle. And then you watch him on WWF, and it's like, oh shit, these guys could wrestle. Like we're not at that time anymore. Like, you could easily go on YouTube and watch an old Claudio Castagnoli match. You could go watch an Adam Cole match from his previous promotions. You can go research Seth Rollins when he was Tyler Black and watch Aleister Black when he was Tommy End and go, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's so much easier to research, and you know these guys can wrestle. We know that. It's like, bro, you got to do, it's like with the same with Cesaro. Like, I would say if Cesaro had a move like that, I feel like he's over already amongst the actual purist wrestling fans. We know the motherfucker can wrestle. We know he's strong as shit. He's built. But like you said with Bianca Belair, like Bianca Belair is new, but she has a WWE style that's fresh. It's not like Bianca Belair, we know Bianca Belair can wrestle, but at the same time, she's not a 5 moves of doom type of wrestler either. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, there's people who you got to find that balance of like, listen, I'll show you motherfuckers I can wrestle if you want to see me wrestle, but I'm gonna I know how to bridge that gap to the just the mainstream fans who know I have a move or I have a style that's gonna translate to the mainstream people who don't watch the Ring of Honors and PWGs and et cetera, et cetera. Like, you got to find that balance. Some cats are either too far in the indie spectrum or too far into the mainstream wrestling spectrum where they have 5 moves and that's it.
Yeah, it's like the thing about the main event of night one is for the rest of eternity. If you want to show little black girls who this is who Bianca Belair is. Sasha helped gallivant all of that in that match. That's why the setup to the braid whip is amazing. Because Sasha pulls at her hair like 4 times. Right. And on the last time, Bianca's like, nope. Well, so when the braid whip happens, from this point forward, the braid whip is if Bianca hits the braid whip, she's winning. From this point forward on WWE television, when the braid whip happens, she's basically winning. Like, the way they set that up was so perfect because from this, like, you showcased Bianca and who she is, and Sasha gave, like, I think J5 said this. Sasha gave her everything, and Bianca countered everything. Right. Like, the two things about Drew and Bobby and Sasha and Bianca is Drew didn't get to hit the Claymore, and Bianca didn't get to do her backstabber into the bank statement. Sasha always hits the second bank statement. So it's been a long time since Sasha won a match off of one bank statement. And if she won a match off of one, it was a squash. But she always gets a second bank statement. Bianca didn't let her get the second one. And then, so that's what led into, like, Sasha pulling her hair, which led into the braid whip, which led into the KOD.
Bro, that shit still I know that shit still hurts Sasha right now, bro. That shit was loud, bro.
That shit stings.
I don't know what was loud of the Walter chop. I don't know what was loud of the Walter chop or the Walter chop or that braid whip, bro.
No, that fucking Walter chop is no joke.
Shit, the braid whip probably hurt, but the braid whip probably hurt more because, like, you can't do the braid whip more than like once.
Yeah.
You can do the Walter chops 4 or 5 times. Like, the braid whip, you can probably only do at max twice. But because she on SmackDown and not NXT, as far as television goes, you only, like, they can only do it once because it's TV. So, like, if you do it too many times, it kind of defeats the purpose of having it.
Definitely. And then briefly too, I wanted to touch on how'd you feel about the AJ and Great Khali match?
Oh, listen. You almost was booked as the New Day love putting over black wrestlers. Nobody does it like them. So, like, having if Biggie was in that match, it wouldn't have went the way it went. But like Woods and Kofi selling for almost awesome. The
I like that reaction when almost
the
came into the ring.
oh yeah, I've been waiting for this. That was my favorite line when he came into the ring. They was like, oh shit, nigga, the leapfrog for the leap. If the leapfrog phenomenal forearm is not a move on WWE 2K22, I'm gonna be upset.
What
But yeah,
did
like
he used to do before this?
Nigga used to play
get
basketball.
fits off. Yeah, something like that.
Getting fits off a man
He's
in a hoop
20.
is crazy.
Get her fits off. It's
He's
hilarious.
26. He's 26
Oh,
and he's
boy.
7'3".
He's 26.
Nah,
Yeah,
that's
26.
scary for the roster because if he learns how to wrestle for real, whew,
Like I said, this could be Shawn Michaels. If he learns how to wrestle in a good period of time, this could low-key be a Shawn Michaels Diesel storyline all over again.
Mm-hmm.
It smells Shawn Michaels Diesel, but
now is that because of the ability or just because of their body types and builds?
I think both. And just the
Okay.
way they're painted together, like almost as his bodyguard, and AJ's just talking mad cash shit. Almost got him, almost is behind him, just ready to, back down from him. And then it gets to one point either where it almost could cost the match, or, or something along the lines where almost caught, something where almost does something that AJ don't rock with, and then it turns into that whole, it turns into that whole dynamic. So. It could be a Shawn Michaels Diesel. It could be not. It can't be that. I think maybe you obviously train him more, condition him. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know who's training almost, but he looked, considering what, the limited things that he was supposed to do, he did really well.
First match at Mania, they got the battery on his back as far as their plans.
Definitely.
Yeah, definitely do.
Yeah.
Speaking of first match at Mania, bro, shout out to Drew Gulak and Adam Pearce, bro.
Hey.
They trained Bad Bunny, bro.
Bad Bunny, they definitely did.
I was very happy. And I said this, like, bro, I had him winning because he was Puerto Rican, and I'm Puerto Rican. Like I said, this is right now, like just like last week, this is a 4.25 African podcast. But with Bad Bunny, I'm like, okay, man, he gets a little offense in, then Damian Priest saves the day. But then I'm like, okay, he's doing waist locks. I'm like, all right, cool. Arm drags, I'm like, okay. He did the modified pin. I hate that I don't know that name of that pin right now because it's annoying me. But it's escaped my head for the whole week. But he did that pin, and I'm like, okay, this is good. And then this motherfucker was doing when he did the synchronized Falcon Arrow, I said, bro, this is probably the best celebrity showing I probably might have seen ever for a first time person. And then when he did the Destroyer, bro, I fucking lost it, bro.
Yeah, when he did that, I'm like, okay, this motherfucker is OP right now.
Yeah, but I mean, the thing was too is Miz and Morrison. I give as much as I give the respect for obviously Bunny and Priest. Miz and Morrison made him look really good.
Mm-hmm.
They did really well, and also, I mean, Miz and Morrison made him look great. And to top it all off, obviously Pierce and Drew Gulak trained him, and even Randy Orton attested to that because they wanted to ask him about I think it's funny that he literally said, I do not want to talk about the Fiend, but talk about Bad Bunny for 5 minutes, and he said literally like there's practice rings where where the Thunderdome is, and he said I used to see him there for 3, 4, 5 hours every day. Like he did not take a day off. He didn't just come in. He had to respect that they were wrestlers, and maybe that is because he's been a fan for a while. And he's always had wrestling references in his lyrics, or like for example, he had Ric Flair he aside from the Booker T video, he had Ric Flair in a video a couple of years ago. So
I was at that game when he at the Miami Heat game when he spit the water and stuff.
Yeah,
who they were playing, but yeah, he's been a wrestling fan for a long time now. Like
yeah, but you could see that in the way he was wrestling. Like you could tell like he was having fun with it, but then he was also like, nah, like I'm gonna take this serious. Like I want to show you, like I could do this. So I was pleasantly surprised, and that's why I kept making jokes. He wrestled better than Bill Goldberg and such and such. But
he does.
Yeah, man, your Puerto Rican brother.
My Puerto Rican brother definitely.
No, you're Puerto Rican. My Puerto Rican cousin.
That's hilarious, bro. But yeah, man. I was happy with with what he did, and obviously night one with Bobby winning and Bianca winning, and like it's hilarious that I called Natalia and Tamina winning the tag team match out of just sheer Tamina has never won a title before, but overall it was a good WrestleMania. I think it was up there. It wasn't really any bad moments. There were some matches that were just like okay, but I don't think there was an overall bad terrible, there wasn't any terrible matches. Like I really can't. If you want to, if there was one, we could talk about it. But I think overall, it was a pretty solid. It was a solid WrestleMania, honestly.
I enjoy it. Yeah, I give it 8 out of 10.
Yeah, and I'm leaning strong on night one for most of that 8.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, I give it an 8. Fam, I've watched Tough Enoughs where I've seen some wrestlers who are champions just can't. Like I've watched them never be able to hit a decent suplex. This nigga Bad Bunny. First of all, we're forgetting about not the Falconer and the Canadian Destroyer are crazy, but fam, the butterfly head scissor Hurricane Rana he hit within the first 5 minutes.
Yes,
and then the tornado DDT. I'm like, bro, Royal Rumble was January. We are in April. What is going on? It's just and then also we need to put on notice. He never lost the 24/7 championship. I don't think nobody. R-Truth didn't pin him for that belt, if I'm not mistaken.
He gave it to him.
I think they just gave him the belt.
Oh yeah, he's about to go. He's about to go on tour because I don't know if y'all were probably watching it, but in the middle of, I think it was in the middle of WrestleMania after there's that they did that little video where they promoted the world tour.
Yeah, him and Triple H. Yeah,
which was dope. So I'm definitely gonna go to that world tour because it's next year, but. Hopefully the world's vaccinated by then. But yeah, man.
Yeah, and then Bad Bunny will be back. I think he'll be back.
Yeah, they said he halted everything. He didn't just be yeah, I'm a half-assed. Randy Orton was nah, he literally stopped everything to practice fast shit. Because if you really think about it, he hasn't put out any music. I mean, granted, he put out 3 albums in 1 year last year, which is fucking insane. He had his album that came out. Then he did he released a 10-song basically I don't like calling them throwaways, but they were basically stuff that he recorded for his last album, and then he put the whole new album, which is which is what the truck is from. He put that out around in September, around the end of the year. So, I mean, shit, this is a nice way to take a break. Fuck it, bro. I'm gonna do some music. I'm gonna go do my childhood dream of wrestling and shit.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go come back and do a world tour next year.
He let his Bugatti get damaged.
Hey man,
they fucked that. You can't tell me he's not committed because he had to agree to that.
I'm 100% certain Vince bought him another one.
Hey.
They gave him the down payment. They did the credit check. Said how much you need. All right, cool, we got you. But he was committed, bro.
We would have never got here. We would have never got to this point with fans. We would have never got to this point if Bad Bunny had to go to Indiana and Memphis. If Bad Bunny had to go to Indiana and Memphis and Boston. We would have never got to this moment at WrestleMania. He would have never got that promo off. Yeah, he would have never got all that shit off if he had to travel with everybody. He probably would have performed at Royal Rumble and just never came back.
Right.
Hey, the thoughts of Bad Bunny getting off his promos in Des Moines, Iowa, got me in tears right now.
Bruh, they would have been calling all types of shit. I think it's bro, them come on, those people don't know that Puerto Ricans and I'm not saying this because I'm Puerto Rican, but I'm gonna say it because I'm Puerto Rican, that Puerto Ricans have a storied history in wrestling. Motherfuckers used to go there to take off from WWF, bro. Carlito's dad was running that promotion out there.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers don't remember that shit, don't know that shit. They don't
Carlito's dad and I think The Rock's grandmother like Carlito's dad and Rock's grandmother, they had promotions in Puerto Rico and
Yeah, it's
Hawaii.
the World Wrestling Council.
Yeah.
Because as a kid, like, because before my grandparents passed, like, my grandmother's a huge wrestling fan, which is funny considering she was like in her 70s. But like, they used to have like on Saturdays, I remember they used to replay Raw and SmackDown, either Raw or SmackDown. I don't remember. They used to like switch off every week, but then at 12 o'clock, World Wrestling Council came on with like, I remember when Carlito was wrestling for his pops, like as a kid. Like seeing those guys, like sometimes Conan used to go there. Like I remember one time Rey Mysterio was wrestling in Puerto Rico for a brief second. Like, a lot of the Mexican guys go wrestle there too. So like, I think people forget that. Like that dude, he probably grew up watching all that shit and just, we passionate about our wrestling, bro. Like we treat heels like heels, bro. Like if you see Dark Side of the Ring when they were talking about Bruiser Brody and Alice, like they did not play that shit. So people forget that, but I was happy to see him shine, man. Glad to see him do his thing and now go back to touring, and that's probably the best. I ain't gonna hold you. That's probably the best celebrity encounter I've seen on a debut.
Mm-hmm.
I like I forgot his name.
Damian Priest.
No. The best debut. Well, but Bad Bunny's number one. But what's the punter's name for the Colts? I cannot think of his name.
Pat McAfee.
Pat McAfee. He did a great job too.
He did.
He did a great job too.
So did Floyd Mayweather.
I forgot about Floyd.
Floyd was cool too.
I forgot about Floyd. Yeah.
I need that song on DSPs, that intro song.
Hey man, Canadian Destroyers on your first day is crazy.
I'm just saying.
All right, man. So
I don't even do tornado DDTs and Canadian Destroyers in regular matches on video games at the same time. This nigga had all the finishes. He had all the finishes up.
Nah, his sliders was definitely all the way up, bro. His sliders was to 99, like 99, 99, 99, 99. Like
that's funny.
But hey, man. Let's move forward with wrestling. WrestleMania. The week after WrestleMania is like I feel fucked up saying it's like January after Christmas when motherfuckers just be getting fired. AKA future endeavor season, as I called it. So let's look at the names of the people who got released. So the wrestlers were released are included, but I don't think are limited to Billy Kay, Peyton Royce, which the Iconics, Mickey James, Chelsea Green, Tucker, Kalisto, Bo Dallas, Wesley Blake, Mojo Rawley got released as well, and Samoa Joe.
God is good on that Mojo Rawley.
God is good on that Wesley Blake. We don't.
Bro, God is good on that Mojo Rawley's hilarious, bro.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Best friends with.
Now, what'd you say, Donnie?
You best friends with Gronk. You'll be all right. You about to go get drunk.
Hey man, Tucker was tweeting God is good when he got released.
I feel bad for Chelsea Green though.
Yeah, because she got hurt a couple times.
Yeah, she got hurt on her first match. She broke her, I think her wrist or her hand, so she was out.
Yeah, she caused some bad breaks. I mean, especially obviously, like we know the elephant in the room is obviously Samoa Joe, which we'll get to in a bit. But Billy Kay, I don't really care. I don't really care for Billy Kay. Like, I'm just like, okay, she's comedic relief. She could have been a good manager, which I feel like, yeah, you could keep her for that.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm kind of shocked she got released considering she had the match, and yeah, they didn't really do shit at WrestleMania. But for her to get released that quick was pretty interesting. Peyton Royce ain't do shit. I mean, the women's tag team didn't really do anything when they wanted, honestly. And I was gonna say that, but people thought I was bugging. But I guess I was right all along. Tucker, I mean, okay.
He wasn't doing shit.
Mojo, I mean, okay. I mean, good was it? God is good on that.
God is good.
Amen.
I'm just mad they didn't release well, not
Velveteen
mad,
Dream.
but nah, I don't. I haven't seen Velveteen Dream wrestle in a minute, but I don't know,
Yeah, you know
man.
why.
Like, what is it? We can talk about that off mic. I was gonna say what has ever come of that, but we can definitely talk about that off mic. Either way, man, I don't know. It's just, I guess they call it amnesty time, but you know, the main thing is at the end of the day, about a quarter of these people gonna end up in AEW. Other ones are gonna end up in TNA, and then other ones will be back in about a year.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
Chelsea
Mickey
Green
James
going
was
back to
released too. Mickey James,
Mickey
Mickey
James was
James.
also
Yeah,
Mickey
James,
James
yeah.
is also released too.
but she's a
so-
legacy act. I expect to see her behind the scenes like Hurricane Helms.
Yeah, Chelsea Green's going back to TNA. She's going back there. That's where she was known for. I don't know
That's where
where
Matt Cardona is.
I don't know where Billy Kay is going to go. I don't know.
Home. I don't. Home.
She gonna
Hop
talk.
your ass on that
She-
kangaroo and go
She,
home.
she gonna go yell at some
home.
kangaroos.
She got
Bro,
released by the only company that know what to do with her. Like you, like what Billy K popping up? PWG?
Hell no.
Bro,
Take your ass home and go do Kangaroo Jack 3.
they gonna call. Bro.
Shit.
Billy Kay go to AEW. They gonna call her a kangaroo lover and go tell her eat on some Vegemite. Like that's not gonna work, bro.
About to throw some shrimp on the
She
Bobby.
gonna be, like,
Yeah.
go do some acting. Like what?
We know
Yeah,
where
they gonna-
It's crazy.
Peyton Royce is going to AEW.
Oh, we know what Peyton.
Yeah.
Oh, we know. She going to AEW to be mid with Mr. Mid. You know what I'm saying? So they can be mid on mid together.
Join the Pinnacle.
We're gonna be
Oh
he
God.
used to call himself the perfect. He used to call himself the perfect 10. When she go over there, it's gonna be 1-1, and it equates to 2 pieces of shit. Both of them.
No.
The perfect pieces of shit.
The perfect 5.
See that shit, bro. Take your ass home.
Oh, shit.
Sean Spit. You know what's crazy? You know what's the crazy? You know when I stopped being a Top Dillinger fan? When I realized he wasn't 22 years old.
You was a
Like when I
fan?
looked him up, I was
Wait,
no. His Todd Dillinger, his gimmick. I was like, okay, people go up for this gimmick. And then I looked up, I was like, this nigga's 38? Man, what?
Listen, you know
Wait
what?
a minute.
Hold on, Donnie. Here's the thing. You know what type of people go up for his gimmick. There's a difference.
Fam, like, it'd be hilarious though. WWE be giving people gimmicks like they're 24. Like they give them a gimmick of a 24-year-old, but these niggas are 37. So
You're
it'd be
36. You'll be 37 next week.
Man, Todd
it'd be
Dillinger.
so funny.
Todd Dillinger could fucking go be on an episode of Bones for all I care.
He looked like an extra in Zoolander.
Hey, that's
like
funny
imagine,
right there.
I feel like he'd be an NCIS.
imagine if Vince gave Kevin Owens the Brodus Clay gimmick. Like imagine. Imagine if KO just
I'm gonna
had
be
white,
honest.
the
KO
white
might
Funkadelic.
shoot him. He might shoot him.
That's how I feel about Sean Spears and the Todd Dillinger game. I'm like, nigga, you are 37. You are not supposed to accept this. You're not supposed to accept walking to the ring and just holding out both your hands and yelling 10. No, you are better than this.
Shit around his neck. The nigga had
With the 1999 Rob Van Dam haircut, gentlemen.
He was just living out
he
his,
think he
living out his
was Demolition
dreams.
Man. The nigga thought he was Demolition Man.
Oh man.
And then he want to go back like, look at me, I'm Sean Spears in AEW.
They ain't doing shit there.
Whoop the fucking do. He's still in
Mid.
He's still in Trevor Lawrence. He's still in Trevor Lawrence's signing bonus.
You
he
gotta
ain't
chill.
doing shit in AEW.
Bro, they paid him in Calais Campbell's trade exception.
Yo,
Campbell. Damn.
Shot called Tony. Hey Tony, you want some money?
Shit, he about to take AJ Bouye's spot as cornerback on the Jaguars. That ain't got to do nothing.
Y'all
him and Miro.
You're gonna see Sean Spears with the number 10. You'll be like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Am I seeing?
Yeah, 15 pass deflections, 2 interceptions. Pro Bowl Sean Spears.
That's funny.
That's crazy, bro. Now he could probably gonna have a Riley Cooper type of run.
Oh, bro.
All right.
He gonna say the N word.
Party yards, bro.
His wife has definitely said that shit. That bitch said boom boom music. All that relates to is she wants to say Congo tunes. Boom. I know that bitch with them ones.
Bro, boom boom music is insane, bro. I was
that
like,
bitch.
Bro.
The funny thing about that bitch is, I'm sorry. Let me apologize to y'all. I don't mean to say bitch in the derogatory way when it relates to all women. This bitch right here, but I want y'all to watch my mouth. So with her, bro, she said, "I need a chance." She did the white woman thing. I need a chance. You don't deserve a chance. You're a white woman with no talent. She got her chance. She got cooked by Oscar, and then they said, "Bet." I knew it was over for her on Sunday. Or no, on Saturday when she had that look on her face. All these other women proud that 2 black women in the ring. She got them goofy ass teeth just out in her mouth. She won't shave the motherfuckers down. She just got this ugly look on her face, just like, oh, I can't believe they let this be boom boom mania. They get to wrestle. Man, you trash. I don't even know if you could wrestle in Australia. Take your ass to Canada. Go to Canada and wrestle.
Yo, she gonna be like, you remember Max from Streets of what's the bar, the guy who ran the bar in Streets of Rage 2 that had the pet kangaroo? That's gonna be her in a year.
You know, it's crazy. Like Peyton did that promo on Raw Talk, talking about like everything she did to get here. When you need to realize, fam, this is wrestling. The story you have is the exact same story everybody in the locker room has, bro.
Thank you.
Like, because WWE is the big league. Like, it's like, fam, like your story is parallel to Apollo Crews' story. It's parallel to Becky's story. It's parallel. Shit, nigga, it's parallel to Charlotte's story.
But I'm special. but I'm special.
Parallel.
Man.
That's why I forgot what Twitter account, like when that happened, they pulled up that Bianca clip where she was like, hard work. You're supposed to work hard. What are you talking about? Like, you bragging about how you work hard. It's just like, yeah, like, fam, everybody got the same exact story as you. And first of all,
I can speak on that Bianca comment. People were trying to get her out of here as if she was, tap dancing and stuff. No, that is just a flat out hard work ethic. How you were raised. It is.
Yeah.
That ain't no tap in, man. That's principles, man.
Brother Earl,
a lot of people ain't got principles.
And also, fam, Bianca is from Knoxville, Tennessee, and she ran track.
Yeah, that's all she knows.
If you know what a track star has to go through, I don't want to hear about you hear about you traveling across the country. We talking about if you know what a track star has to go through, what a track star has to do, bro. Like don't talk to me about hard work.
She gonna be It's all right, man. She's a runner. She's a track star. It's hilarious, bro. She gonna be catching rebounds for Joe Ingles during the summer workout. She'll be just fine.
Yo. Banks. Go ahead and put this man mic on mute, please. Please.
Oh, the Joe Ingles shit, man.
She gonna be throwing Joe Ingles outlet passes. She'll be just fine. She'll be fucking fine.
Man, Joe Ingles can barely put his fucking arms up, bro.
That's Vegemite Chris Mullen?
Oh!
That nigga said Vegemite.
Chris Mullen.
Actually, you know what? That's disrespectful because Chris Mullen's from Brooklyn. He's the only white man from Brooklyn that I fuck with. Not Michael Rappaport's bitch ass. So I'm sorry. That was disrespectful to
Michael Rappaport catching strays.
That's disrespectful to the one and only Chris
Michael
Mullin.
Rappaport. He a culture vote.
Listen, bro. Chris Mullin used to go to every hood in Brooklyn and fucking dominate. Ask Mark Jackson, and he used to go to the Bronx too. I heard them stories about Chris Mullin in New York, bro. He was the only white boy on the court for like 20 years straight.
Yeah, that's
With
a fact.
They thought he was gonna be lit. They
and
thought he
he still
basically
got the-
died Larry Bird.
And he still got the golf flat top, bro. Who you know past 55 be doing that shit, man? Huh?
He's basically diet Larry Bird, which ain't bad. Which ain't bad.
Nah,
I mean,
shoot.
People forget.
He Larry Bird with a hood pass.
People forget, bro. You know how bad you had to be as a player, and I mean bad in a good way, to make the dream team. Like, come on, man. Chris Mullin was a hooper.
Hey, man, I'll be saying, bro.
Despite the fact that Scottie Pippen bitch ass froze out Isaiah Thomas.
I mean,
All right.
you know.
But yeah, man. Back to the future endeavors. Shout out to Chris Mullin and fuck Michael Rappaport. I'm trying to think, man. I mean, everybody. I feel bad. Like Chelsea Green. Like I felt, injuries are injuries. Billy Kay and Paris, I really don't give a fuck about. Even though Billy Kay, I will say, could have been a good manager. She could have been used in that sense.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think who else got released. Mo Girardi, like Earl said, thank the Lord, because Mo Girardi wasn't doing shit, but fucking, I don't know what the fuck he was doing. Actually, I can't even tell.
He had that one vignette where he was yelling into a mirror in a dark place.
Oh yeah,
I didn't know.
He had that crazy face paint. Yeah, that was wild.
He fell.
I didn't know.
Yeah,
I don't know where they were going with that.
He fell into the void.
Bro, because when I first saw it, I was about to say, this is leading up from him getting kicked in the fucking face by Aleister Black, isn't it? This is what this leads to.
Oh, speaking of Aleister Black,
he didn't get released.
Nah, yeah, but they say he's doing vignettes and stuff like that, so he should be back on Raw pretty soon.
Which I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. I was kind of shocked he didn't get released, but I'm glad that I think before the Jericho podcast, I'm like, oh yeah, he probably gonna get released soon. But now after that Jericho podcast, I'm like, Vince don't really give a shit, bro. Like Aleister Black was probably filming Zelina doing a Leah cosplay like she likes to do once a week now. But like,
don't do that.
What? Am I wrong?
Don't do that.
And shout out to her. She from Queens. We know the deal with her family and when 9/11. So it's always it's love for Zelina. Like Zelina's a great manager, but Aleister Black was collecting checks, chilling at home. So I think he'll be back. I hope he's back, I hope he's back.
Let me speak on that. Let me speak on that. First of all, fam, like we're talking about a business pre-pandemic where you wrestle on Monday or Friday, and then you have to do house shows like 3 days out the week. If I'm a wrestler and you don't have a storyline for me, and you tell me, look, we're not firing you, but just stay home and collect this money. All right, okay, that's fine. So when people get mad, when people speak about, like, I hate when people speak about how they're treating Asuka or Shinsuke, because I always say, fam, Shinsuke and Asuka for 15 consecutive years before they got to the E had to put on 45-minute 5-star matches every single week in Japan. You think Asuka gives a fuck that she didn't have a program until Rhea walked down the ramp and said, hey, bitch, I want to fight you at WrestleMania? Asuka was like, oh, okay, I'll fight you. Asuka don't give a fuck about the program she's in. You think Shinsuke gives a fuck that he's not a champion?
Right.
In WWE?
And that's the problem. Actually, go ahead, Marcel, because I'm again, I'm cutting a mini promo, but Marcel, go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
A lot of people say, Shinsuke on vacation right now, so he's just collecting checks.
He's surfing.
It's surfing. I was about to say that. He's chilling. He's chilling. He said, "Fuck Japan right now. I'm getting this check."
You think he want to get kicked? You think he want to catch a kick to the spleen again? Nah, bro.
Man, you think you want to take 5 Canadian destroyers? You think you want to take 7 V triggers?
You think he want to do flippy drop kicky for 20 minutes? Nah, bro.
No, fam. No, fam. I
Hey, man.
got the surfboard. I got these trunks, and I got my titties out. I'm about to go surfing.
All I gotta do is
I'm about
wrestle
to go
for
surfing.
all I
Yeah,
gotta all I gotta do is wrestle for as long as a Joe Budden freestyle and get a check. Shit.
bruh,
Say where is the paper and where is the pen?
Yeah, he's
bruh,
straight chilling. He's
bruh.
straight
Just
chilling. He don't care.
keep my leather outfit pressed and ironed
Uh-huh.
right. I'm
Makazi go
hitting the
handle that.
waves.
Makazi, keep my leather outfit. Okay, all right.
Yeah,
I'll come back.
that's what I'm saying.
You
That's what
see,
I'm saying. I mean, yeah.
and like that's the thing. Like the promo mini pro I was gonna cut is like, bro, a lot of these fans don't understand. And you know what? When I was younger, I kind of felt victim to that. But as I got older, we're supposed to grow. We're supposed to grow wiser. I can't speak on other. I can't speak for the other 5, 6, 7, 8 people that I could speak for, including my girl, my family, and like our respective families. But with wrestling fans, a lot of people don't understand, especially in this age, bro. Everybody can't be champion, bro. Like now, there's some people with Samoa Joe's case. Okay, he got hurt though. Like with the Andrade, oh my,
Mm-hmm.
everybody, bro, Andrade got mishandled. He was supposed to be the champion off the
Don't care about
first week. And I'm like, bruh, everybody doesn't need to be champion, bro. Razor Ramon wasn't fucking champion. And you know how much success Razor Ramon had? Motherfuckers talk about Jake the St.
Man,
Roberts. You know, Jake the St. Roberts wasn't the champion. Like, yes, Jake the St. Roberts did some drugs. And like that might have put a caveat into what he was supposed to do. But you don't think of, oh damn, Jake. Literally, when people think of when certain people, oh, they weren't champion, it's like, oh damn, you were right, they weren't champion. But what do you remember them for? What do you remember them more for? What they did in the ring and as a character, or what they actually won as belts? You know what I'm saying? Like there's some
mm-hmm.
guys where what they do in the ring minus what is on their fucking waist, bro, that counts more than 10 fucking championship rings. Like not everybody can be champion. Some guys are destined to be champion or have had the belt on their hand and they need that to help. Some people don't. And that was the thing. Like, we talk about this all the time. Like Shinsuke don't need it. Hey, oh, Shinsuke has to be champion. No, he fucking does not, bro. Shinsuke could go there, talk his shit in Japanese, put on that leather suit, go do his go get on his androgynous game and go beat somebody ass and go back to surfing, bro. Okay? Asuka could go and lift Rhea Ripley, go help lift Bianca, go help any of the horsewomen, go have them classic memories of Charlotte. Even though, granted, I think Asuka should have another championship reign. That's just me thinking that's how good she is. But Asuka's that good enough that she doesn't need a championship reign to fucking like, you know what I'm saying? Like to just get like that burn that she gets. Like a lot of people do that shit, and it's just like I'm like, fam, y'all need to relax. Like,
She's on fucking YouTube cooking.
bro, Asuka was a video game developer, bro. Asuka could easily go back to developing video games if she wanted to. Like, like you know what I'm saying? Like, Asuka's chilling. Asuka's good where she need to be at. Like. She's there to kind of be that savvy vet who help, who's a star, but could also help Rhea Ripley and help if she goes to SmackDown, go wrestle against Bianca, go wrestle Sasha.
Mm-hmm.
Like she's a very reliable person, a very reliable wrestler that you can use to help either put over the next talent or if you need her to win a championship reign and she holds it down for a couple months, then cool. But like that's the thing, bro. Every of these wrestlers like, oh, they need to be champion. No, they don't. You need to like, you clearly don't watch wrestling. Like, just because that person doesn't have a belt doesn't mean they're not good.
Good, yeah. Okay.
Shit, there's some motherfuckers who have a belt that are ass.
Don't get me started.
Don't
get me started about title holders.
Yeah. Shit, there was one for 6 months that Go ahead.
Jack Swagger had the World Heavyweight Championship at one point. Don't get me started on title holders.
Talk about that time though. That belt was diminished though. It wasn't the top. It wasn't the top belt.
That belt
was
I was gonna say Marcel before you continue. That belt was dusted and disgusted. Word to E40.
It was. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
That belt was bullshit. So they just gave it to him.
Yeah,
Right.
it wasn't until like Mark Henry's Hall of Fame run, which is amazing. But that's when I noticed like how like little the World Heavyweight Championship. It's like very little. It looks little. It looks like it don't look like a real belt. Like the gold belt don't really like when the gold belt don't look like a real belt for some reason. I just thought about that, but nah, yeah, but like, that's why I always say like the invasion. The invasion could have never happened with social media. Or the invasion would have been the worst.
Oh my
Wrestling
God,
from
bro.
01 to 03, that's too
Yeah,
much.
it could. I mean,
That's
granted,
too much.
considering the shortcomings they have to deal with, because like we know most of the people they wanted to get there were
That had
were
that AOL deal.
they had them
Yeah.
AOL deals. They were getting paid to go home. You know,
Yep.
like
Hmm.
they did what they could do. Like you gotta look at the good sometimes. Like we got the RVD and Jeff Hardy matches. We got
Yep.
Austin being Austin. Jericho kind of showed out. Like you had bright moments. Like shit, you really think about it.
Hmm.
What if all those guys come? Like we
Yeah.
you could get the Sting versus Undertakers in that, but what happens? Does the Ruthless Aggression era happen? Do we get RVD becoming the RVD that he, granted, I'm not going to
Right.
say that if it wasn't for that time, we don't get, we're still not talking about RVD the way we do now because we know what RVD gave us with ECW
Mm-hmm.
and eventually, but you think about it, that was a blessing in disguise because RVD was able to connect with the, like we say, with the with the indie fans and the hardcore fans, but also with the mainstream people that were like, holy shit, I heard about this dude, but this motherfucker used to come on at 3 a.m. on the East Coast, so I didn't really get to see much of him unless you were trading tapes. Oh, but this guy could wrestle. So there was give and takes to that, like where some people don't want to understand. I can imagine how fickle some of these wrestling fans now would be if social media was around when the invasion happened.
Could you imagine what wrestling Twitter was? Could you imagine wrestling Twitter when Mike Jindrak got replaced by Batista? Oh, what?
Oh my god.
Yo, does
My,
anybody actually remember that promo?
I
When it
don't.
happened?
No,
I
but
forgot.
see
Oh,
with social
you talking
media
about
that promo
Evolution?
that
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
yes, like with social media that promo would have never left the internet.
Never.
that's
Never.
that's and that's a big problem with social media. A lot of things just don't leave when they should
Right. They would
because
have
they
been like,
really don't matter.
they would
But
have been like,
that
yo, Mark
yeah.
Jindrak.
When I guarantee you, in 2005, when Batista put the thumbs down, somebody would have tweeted that night. That could have been Mark Jindrak, and I would have flipped everything in my house. That
Bro, you
moment, there
wild.
was like Mark Jindrak could have did that. What?
Yeah, that may be the title of this episode. That could have been Mark Jindrak.
Somebody was gonna tweet. Somebody, I go back and watch all old Raws and SmackDowns. When I watch them, I always have a moment where I go, somebody would have tweeted this when this happened. I just tweeted this. Like I was watching like an old SmackDown and Super Crazy was on TV, and I was like, somebody
Oh
would
my.
have tweeted why is there a Mexican named Super Crazy on television? And it's crazy. Yeah.
It's supposed to be super loco.
Yeah, super
Nah,
crazy.
that was
So it's amazing.
that was a problematic time, bro.
It definitely was.
Because I was like, damn,
Hunica,
super crazy gave us had some nice matches at ECW.
Hunico and Camacho? You don't want to. What? Wrestling Twitter during Hunico and Camacho? It's so much shit.
Do you imagine? Can you imagine the incels of Brian London and Brian Kendrick and Paul London was tag team champions?
Oh, no, well, I do say this.
God.
London and Kendrick in NXT, fire. London and Kendrick in NXT would have been amazing. Like London and Kendrick in NXT would have been basically MSK. They were basically NSK and NXT.
I'm hearing that
those
people.
two.
Go ahead.
Now, what you want to say, Marcel?
I said I'm hearing that people are booing MSK in the Capitol Center.
Supposedly they booed them. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what they gonna do? Try to make them heel? Just from that?
I mean,
No,
maybe.
don't do that.
I hope not, but I think it's stupid. But like, I think the biggest thing here we're talking about, I guess the biggest, most notable release was Samoa Joe.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say, because we know Samoa, granted Samoa Joe, I guess for a while we thought it was always, damn, what if Samoa Joe comes to WWE?
Mm-hmm.
And then he popped up. And considering it was a brief run. Obviously, injuries are injuries. We can't blame that on anybody, because we know obviously when he went against Cena, I think was it even both times that they were gonna push that shit forward. He got hurt. We got Samoa Joe Lesnar for one match. Granted, that could have been a great feud for a while, but injuries, and I loved him, and I actually did like him. And I don't really, with commentators, I'm very fickle about them, but I like Samoa Joe with Cole, and that could have been even better than Cole and Taz, because I actually do like Cole and Taz. Some people like to shit on them, especially like the newer wrestling fans, like be like, "Oh, Cole and Taz was ass," and I'm like, "Bro, what were y'all watching?" But I think they could have been like a more evolved, more just in tune version of Cole and Taz had Joe stayed. But I kind of get why Joe left. They didn't want to clear him. And with the WWE, it's like, listen, like we're gonna let you live. Do you want to keep wrestling, or do you want to hurt yourself if, God forbid, like change your life? And Joe decided, I feel like with Joe, that was a mutual release. Maybe he tries to test the waters, and if he does it, if he's not there for it, he comes back. But I think he could come back. I think if he wanted to come back, WWE would welcome him without a problem.
I think he will. Shit.
I think he should go. I think he should go New Japan, in my opinion.
Yes.
That's gonna be fire.
Yeah.
But
so
at the same
let
time,
me just make sure I hear you correctly. A guy who has been struggling with injury should go to New Japan?
I'll just
say it again. Hello?
Oh, he probably clicked out of it.
Lost. Yeah.
Marcel said, "Fuck what y'all talking about."
And I think New Japan hacked his StreamYard.
Had to, but it's like, no, do I get it? Yeah, of course. I think for his character, absolutely. I 1,000,000% agree. But for protecting his body, yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's not like Tama Tonga be fighting them niggas for real over there. You can't.
Exactly.
Like, you can't just be going to New Japan.
Bro, that CT,
yeah, Tama Tonga,
that CT gonna be deep fried if T wrestle Tama Tonga, bro. I don't want that to happen.
Tama Tonga been keeping it real on everything about the white boys when they came over there. Like he been keeping it 100 about the Bullet Club and the Elite. Joe could go. I think. See, a lot of people would say Impact, but I'm just like, nah. A lot of people, of course, people gonna say AEW, which I mean, I watch it. I just watch Joe's portions. Because first off, the crazy thing, what people don't realize is as soon as Samoa Joe steps on the AEW, he is the best talker that they have. He's the best talker in AEW the moment he steps there.
Oh, he's easily the best talker there.
Yeah. Yeah, but he kind of moves at his own pace. So like, no matter where he chooses, shit. A lot of people say he should go to MLW. I would like MLW for Joe.
I was reading that too, because considering like he could have good matches with the guys there, because like they have quality wrestlers. So
I could see MLW. My only thing is Joe's such a big name. He's not going from WWE to MLW. It's going to be AEW, New Japan, and he's staying at home. He ain't going to no MLW. It's not.
But that's the problem you deal with, because if he goes to AEW, then the stigma comes back.
Of what?
Y'all wrestling cat, or y'all bringing back cats. Y'all just signing anybody and everybody who gets future endeavored. And granted, Joe could talk. Joe could talk better than all them dudes. Like honestly, like
Nigga.
we know that, but there's that stigma that stench, bro, that AEW has, man. Like that reputation is still gonna supersede anything they do.
Yeah.
That's the
Also,
dangerous. That's what you get into.
Joe, like really anything Joe, I'm game for anything Joe does wrestling. Like if Joe's like, you know what, I don't want to wrestle, I just want to start my own promotion. If Joe's like, I just want to start my own promotion, like, I'll be like, yeah, I'm watching that. Because I feel like Joe, as far as everything wrestling, Joe's good at. The wrestle part, the talking part, the commentating part, like I bet all the money I got in my wallet right now that Joe has a great eye for talent. Like,
He just
a
still has it
great
in
eye
him to
for
wrestle.
talent. Yeah, he just still has in the wrestle. And then like let's say they didn't release him and they did allow him to wrestle. Well, who is he gonna like? Where are you gonna put him? Like, where would you put him? A lot of people would be like, well, put him with the tribal chief. I was like, no, I don't want Joe with the tribal chief because like Joe's gonna lose. And that's when and we went through that already with Roman and Joe. You know what I'm saying? We went through that already with Roman and Joe. You could put him in the WWE title picture, but he's not beat, like they're not gonna have him beat Bobby.
No,
mean,
not coming off of that.
like,
Not coming out of that announce booth. No, not at all.
definitely not.
Be Bobby. Like the best thing, honestly, the dope thing that if he stayed, I'd be like, instead of before he gets to wrestling, like crazy enough, like have Joe manage a faction. Shit. Like have him manage a faction.
Or just have him where he just talks shit about certain wrestlers and they get mad at him and then he just beat
Shit,
their ass. Like he's like
shit.
he's that commentator. He's kind of how how they booked Taz like as the commentator guy who could be somebody ass, but then they had him doing bullshit novelty matches. Like nah, just have him be like that guy. Like yeah, you ass and I'm gonna fuck you up. Oh word, yeah, let's go fight right now. And then he beats their ass. You know what I'm saying? He beats their ass. And then eventually gets something out of that. Like he kind of becomes that kind of weird enforcer type. But I mean, with Joe, Joe could really listen. Bro, let's keep it on it. Like Joe could even go on a Rey Mysterio type of bounce back where, he's hurt, he's fucked up, he leaves, he takes some time off, he goes and wrestles in the Indies for maybe a year or two, and then if he's healthy or he's better than he was before and in better shape, then hey, come back and do what you got to do. He kind of have a Rey Mysterio type of resurgence too. He kind of dips out for 2 years and then he comes back. Because we know who Samoa Joe is. Like Samoa Joe, amongst the fans, like gets that love. Like he doesn't really have like it's not like with Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio got booed out of the fucking arena. Unfortunately, that's one of the few times we know Rey Mysterio's ever gotten really booed. Because he just happened to be at the wrong place at the wrong time.
Right.
Where Joe is just like, listen, we know he's hurt. He could do what he could do, what he needs to do, and then come back. So, I mean, Joe could kind of really work on his own time. He's not on borrowed time, and he's not on anybody else's. Where like, oh well, it's not like he was asked for 3 years, and it's like, okay, yeah, we released him. Like, no, it's unfortunate circumstances, but he could work those circumstances out and come back. So.
It'd be all right.
Yeah, I view him the exact same way we view AJ. Like him and AJ are just, no matter the company, they're just wrestling icons and all-timers. So he's, you know what I'm saying, no matter what, like Joe's always going to be a part of wrestling lore. Like I said, like he's just one of those guys. Like he's just one of those guys that like the door is always open. You know what I'm saying? Hunter, like even you know what I'm saying, like even if not on like the main roster, I can guarantee you after a year or two, Hunter calls and be like, "Hey, you want to come produce backstage at NXT? You want to commentate? You want to do whatever?" Like he's just one of those guys to where when he's involved in something, it's good.
Right.
Like it's not bad. It's good. So Wherever he
Definitely.
goes, I'm rooting for him. That's him. He in my top 5.
For real. Banks, you got anything to say about Samoa Joe?
Oh, AK Sloppy Joe would Scott Steiner call him back in the day? Nah, Scott
He's
Steiner.
fat.
He's fat. I make him bleed. Samoa Joe is one of my favorite workers of all time. I like the MLW idea because I'm the only person that watches MLW probably in this entire pod. Just go somewhere, man, where you can add some life to your body because he been having, shoulder problems.
And
Uh,
that's my point.
Concussions.
yeah, Marcel said he said he should go New Japan, bro.
Hey,
Evil is gonna kill that man. Like just Evil alone, bro. Let alone everybody else. Like imagine him trying to have an hour match with Kota Ibushi, who
That
don't
CT, that
who knows
CT, that CT gonna be activated, bruh.
like Kota Ibushi, bro. This nigga no sell everything, bro. Like god damn, you hit him with 100,000 chops, 100,000 niggas.
That's
That's
hilarious.
crazy.
That's hilarious. But yeah, let's move on to ROP. Oh, yo, Banks, highlight the comment that just came up. The WWE should have released Banks O'Shea.
yo, that's messed up.
That's crazy.
That
That's
That's-
hilarious. Oh, one more thing.
God.
I'm sick and tired of WWE hiring these niggas who talk like they work at Office Depot. So listen, Ricochet, Cedric Alexander, Apollo. Listen. No, I gotta say it. Listen, for people who listen, the reason why they're not
Ricochet.
working.
Hold on, before you go into Ricochet is Banks if he was Puerto Rican. Okay, continue.
Yeah, fam, listen. The reason why these people are not world champion is because they sound like they work at a cubicle. Like Ricochet, Cedric, Apollo before he was Nigerian, Xavier Woods in some way, shape, form, or fashion. At least he's funny, but they don't sound like niggas. Like and this sounds crazy. This sounds crazy, but the black people that get over in the WWE, even Bobby to an extent, they sound like niggas. They sound like you can fear, like they sound like you can fear them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like fam, like Drew McIntyre told Ricochet to shut up, and I agree with him because it's like don't nobody want to hear all that bullshit. Nobody want to hear all that bullshit you talking about.
Hey,
Talking about what did he say on that live? I'm bald. Like, why you ugly? Like, man, you see, that's why you're not world champion. Because you calling people ugly on Instagram Live because they called you bald. Like,
hey, man.
Type 1 cornball, brother.
Apollo Crews is
yes.
Apollo Crews is sincere if he ended up going to Africa.
That's what I'm saying.
Sorry, man.
That's what I'm saying. Like Apollo Crews is the manager at T-Mobile. He sounds like a manager at T-Mobile. I can't.
Yo.
Now that's more Ricochet. Ricochet looks more like a T-Mobile manager.
Bruh.
I need to ask y'all something because I seen to have net zero today. Were y'all recording when Amp was slandering me, calling me Rick O'Shea?
Oh, that's
y'all
crazy.
hear me?
That's crazy.
Nah, but that's hilarious.
Okay, so y'all was still recording.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all I need to know. Yeah, fuck
That's
this
hilarious.
AOL internet that I have. But if forget that guy at Random Acts podcast called Amp. Shouts out to him. Undisputed Hater is now out. You can sue me, nigga. You ain't getting shit.
Yo.
Bruh.
Nah, Brown Skin Amp had me in tears, Jay.
Brown skin Amp is hilarious.
You think he a bad bro now? He got his little twisties looking like Ron the Truth Killings,
Yeah.
looking like K Quick. Nigga
Amp
say, we
looking
getting
like K Quick
rowdy.
is
About to move
crazy.
some things. Getting rowdy.
Yo. Not you calling Amp a bad bitch. That's crazy.
Hey, 2021 summer soon come. He gonna be on that flat tea stomach diet like Bray Wyatt.
Nah. Chill, man. Bray. Come on, man. You know why Bray lost that weight. Man.
Damn,
Come
you
on.
saying
I
Amp is
told
y'all,
you, bro. That's not.
you saying Amp is
That's
y'all
not
Sanchez?
flat. That's
That's
not flat
crazy.
tummy teeth. That's disgusting.
Nah,
number one.
that's
Like,
depression.
yeah,
bro.
but that's not flat tummy teeth for Bray. That's depression. That's what that is.
No,
That
flat.
Yeah.
is
No,
Hold on.
really,
Yo,
it
hold
really
on.
is.
like
Yo,
real
Amp,
talk.
Amp being Yara Sanchez is crazy.
Nah, dog. What's wrong with y'all, man? What's wrong with y'all, man?
That's
Like for real, bro. What
disgusting.
did I sign up for at 12:30 in the morning?
Hey man, I mean,
That's disgusting. That means
I'd rather
that
be
means
that.
Amp had a child at 15 years old. That's disgusting.
Yo, yeah.
It's probably
And that-
true.
I mean, I'd rather
That's
be.
disgusting.
I mean, would you rather be that or Dewan Blair wrestling for the women's tag titles? Okay, let's continue.
Wait. I ain't know we was gonna put that on air.
I don't give a fuck, man. I said that shit on 3 different media outlets, bro.
Yeah, calling Nia Jax.
I don't know what y'all talking
crazy.
about.
Okay, Donnie.
hold
Okay,
on.
Donnie. Okay,
No,
I'll give the
yeah.
context. So
Don't explain. No. You don't got to do that. I don't want to know nothing about that.
I'll explain. I don't give a shit. So in the clubhouse, like we was just cracking jokes, bro. Like we was watching night 2. Like night 2 was funnier because like I basically had a room. Shout out to everybody who's on Clubhouse and follows We Are Sports and Attack the Rim. But I did a room for night 2. So we were talking about mad shit. Like but the jokes we had was crazy. Like this man Earl called Rhea Ripley Earth, Wind, and Fuck You Mom.
No, that's what her entrance music is. That's what the band is.
Yeah,
Earth, Wind, and Fuck You Mom.
Her entrance was Earth, Wind, and Fuck You Mom music. And then I said, because we were talking about Nia Jax, how she tore 2 ACL. Her ACLs like twice. Both her ACLs are what, 2 years? I said, bro, Nia Jax is really Dewan Blair, bro. She got no ACLs, and she wrestling. That's impressive.
Nah, man, that motherfucking Nia Jax.
So you mean?
Go ahead, Donnie. Just say it.
So you mean to tell me at one point Nia Jax could give you 7 points, 25 boards, and 2 blocks?
Yes.
She played for University of Oklahoma women's team, sure.
And 6 fouls because she fucking punched Becky Lynch her nose and was injuring motherfuckers.
People got to stop bringing that up. People got to stop bringing it up like this not wrestling. Like this, like these things don't happen all the time.
I mean, that is true.
Like a Stone Cold promo, like Austin 316 said, "I just whooped your ass." Didn't set this nigga ablaze. Like being a superstar wrestler comes with a little bit of accidental luck.
I mean, we did say that too. If it wasn't for Nia just punching her shit in, do we get that Becky Lynch? I don't know. But
if Ali don't get hurt, we don't get Kobe Mania. We don't.
Listen. If Sting uses unlimited PTO like a certain player we about to talk about next up, we might not get John Cena and we might not get the SmackDown 6. And I'm just saying.
Right.
I don't think John Cena has ever called, to the best of our knowledge, Kyrie Irving a nigga.
I mean, he is from Boston. That's possible. So moving on to Kyrie Irving. So
my nigga. I don't think I understand. That's my nigga right there, bro. What do you mean?
So Kyrie Irving, first of all,
what they say, my nigga. I'm glad you said this.
In the words of one Michael Wilbon, yes. So in Kyrie Irving, I'm not gonna go into my personal grievances because I almost changed my fantasy team name to Kyrie's Unlimited PTO. But in the game against the Lakers, Kyrie Irving got offended because Dennis Schroeder, who was German, called him that word, and Kyrie got mad. Now, did Kyrie get mad because he was getting cooked? I don't know. Did Kyrie get mad because he was being called that word? Yes, but Kyrie got mad. They got into it, and Kyrie got ejected out of the game. And then after the game, or a day later, he released a tweet that said the N-word is a derogatory racial slur. It will never be a term of endearment reclaimed flipped. Never forget its foul and true history. Throw that word out the window, right alongside all of those other racist words used to describe my people. We are not slaves or ends. So, I mean, here's the thing about Kyrie Irving. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna let y'all get to this because I like Kyrie Irving as a player, but it gets to a point where he's like this fake woke. It's getting to a point where like he's doing good things. Like, he did what he did for the WNBA players and made the right choice in regards to wanting the players out the season because of the pandemic, even though I kind of think some of that was rooted because he was hurt. But Kyrie Irving really be talking like he Magneto. And I don't know if I've said with that right. I'm just saying. I'm calling him Kynito now because he really be talking like he Magneto, bro. Like he want to be Magneto so bad, but he don't got Magneto balls to do what Magneto did. You know what I'm saying? I just don't. I'm just like, bro, I'm tired of it. Like, fam, why are you saying this? Like, why are we discussing this now? Like, if maybe it's because it's the messenger, it should be different. But bro, if you don't get on this, like, he just want to be Magneto so bad that it annoys me. And I'm getting to a point that, like, bro, bro, like, why? Like, I just don't. I'm not the, maybe I'm just getting mad because it's the messenger and he's saying what he needs to say. But I just feel a lot of it is very performative, and that's just me. So
I'm going to keep saying the word nigga. So
I second that, my nigga.
So
hey, listen. In the words of one of my uncles, never stay away from niggas who just started reading. And that's who Kyrie be talking about.
Yo,
That's
hilarious,
he has been speaking like a nigga who just started reading like a week ago. And this always happens when niggas read The Alchemist and the 48 Laws of Power and the autobiography of Malcolm X. Like when niggas read those books, they just want to show you that they have read, and this is what I know. So hey, when niggas get new information, they always want to tell niggas about the new information they got. But the information is never factual. It's just what they made up in their head from reading the information. So it's a whole bunch of fabricated bullshit that sounds like it's true. So niggas be listening and the reason why niggas are listening is because they don't read. And so they're listening to a nigga who just started reading. And so he sounds like a prophet.
So what you mean to tell me is Kyrie Irving is the hood healer?
Yes. That's what he is. That's what he is. That's what he is. And this is what happens when you send niggas to Duke. This is what happened. It all comes back to Mike Krzyzewski. Because Kyrie is like, I have a theory. I have like this thing because I'm a Tar Heels fan. If you're way too good once you get in the league, I just say you never went to Duke. So when Duke fans be like, yeah, Kyrie, I'll be like, he ain't go there. I'm like, what are you talking about? He played 11 games. He ain't go there.
Yeah.
Like, I just be like, he ain't go there.
He was
like,
injured most of the time.
Yeah, like Jason Tatum, as of this year, I was like, he ain't go to Duke. He ain't really go to Duke. Like, he was there.
They had a semester of PE. They had a semester of PE.
Yeah, but like, bruh, like, fam. Like, it's fam. Like, first of all, he got mad at Dennis Schroeder for the wrong reasons. Dennis Schroeder ugly as hell. I would have got mad at him for that instead of him calling me a nigga. Dennis Schroeder is also blacker than my grandmother's family skillet. I would have got mad at him for
All right,
that.
bro.
Bro,
All
you
right.
got
Dennis Schroeder.
Problematic.
Yeah, I was about to go. I was about to go to it. Yeah. Let me stop before I go to where Dennis Schroeder is from. We're not gonna get to that. But
Hey,
he from Germany, bro.
he
Hey,
speaks
don't
German too.
don't forget Kyrie from Australia.
listen.
Yeah, Dennis
Yeah,
Schroeder.
he
You saying Hail
Kyrie is an
Hydra.
So
Australian nigga.
Dennis Schroeder's Mark Morrison, bro. It's okay.
Yeah, same. You've never seen him in the same place.
Yo.
You've never seen him. You've never seen him in the same place. But no. To nip in the bud, Kyrie. To nip in the bud, fucking Kyrie, bro. Like it's just like fam.
I can't breathe.
It's
Bro.
like
Hold
fam.
on,
Like
man.
all this, bro.
Go ahead, Don. I'm gonna mute my
Like
mic,
he
bro.
just fam. Like Kyrie has been having nightmares of that boat with them white women. He can't shake it. He can't shake it. It haunts him in his sleep. Haunts him in his sleep. He was on that
He's trying to
boat
run from his
after
reality.
winning. Yeah. I mean, we seen the mother of his child? Do we?
I was just about to say that.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Man.
He can't shake it. This also the niggas that be reading be fucking them white women, and that's when they be, and that's what happens. This always happens.
That's
Always
crazy.
happens, bro.
Is that why LeBron didn't finish that Malcolm X book? He's just trying to shake off the ghost of Yes Jules.
Yeah.
Every time LeBron read a book, he always on the first page. Every time I see a picture of him reading the
I
book,
was just about to
he
say
never in the
that.
middle.
Yo, yes.
He never in the middle. He always on the first page.
Yo, yes, Jules looked like the doll that Angelica used to play with the Rugrats, and she sounded like Doc Rivers.
We're not talking about. We talking about the vibe director.
Nah,
The
she
vibe-
don't sound like Doc Rivers. She moaned like what's that Tom Thibodeau. That's what she sound like.
All
That
right,
is-
we're getting to the
Oh,
danger.
Oh my!
that's hilarious.
I feel like Joey Styles. Oh my
That video-
god!
That video was disgusting.
Listen, man, who the vibe controller?
Yeah, the
Soul-
girl that broke.
the soul,
the girl that
the soul. I call her the soul survivor.
yeah, the girl that made Uber everywhere hot. You know, that's her claim to fame, making Uber everywhere hot.
Oh. Whoop de doo.
That's what I'm saying. Nah, but Kyrie just started reading, and like you can't tell him nothing. And it always happens when niggas just start reading.
Bro, calling Kyrie remedial is crazy.
He's not remedial. He just started reading though. That's he's a very smart person.
So Kyrie Irving's cannabis in '98.
He also misses Kobe. It's a culmination of a lot of things. He misses Kobe. He just started reading. He can't shake them white women on that boat. But he'll give you 40 points in 28 minutes of play. So what are you gonna do?
When he wants to. That's the key thing.
Yeah. When he wants to. Also, first of all, we gotta realize that the Brooklyn Nets have the weirdest collection of niggas ever. Because KD's going off on social media. Kyrie had his spat with Dennis Schroeder. The only reason why James Harden is quiet is because they are in Brooklyn. Now imagine if all of this was going on and KD and Kyrie were playing for the Rockets. So while Kyrie is having his spat and KD is having his spat, James Harden would be at the strip club going dummy.
You know, goddamn
going dummy.
You know, now that James Harden's in New York, you know goddamn well he ain't going to no fucking perfections, bro.
No, it ain't the same.
It ain't the same.
It ain't the same. It ain't the same. Now, if they was in Atlanta,
well, that's because them
KD, Kyrie, and James Harden
trash.
That's what I'm saying.
Doo-doo.
I mean, I've never been to them, but I've heard, you know, be funny as a New Yorker, but I've heard they are not good. from people who've ended up traveling to Atlanta or other places where strip clubs are more nurtured. If I want to be nice and correct.
Oh, you talking about Magic City?
Nah, we saying that James Harden ain't going to no strip clubs in New York.
Oh no. They don't get naked, don't they? They don't get naked.
Nah, well,
No,
I mean,
it's
I
not.
don't think he want to be in strip clubs with 6ix9ine is at either. But
and that's my point. Like
Listen.
they ain't getting naked in no daggone strip club in New York. James Harden is on his best behavior right now.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Yeah,
James,
fam.
yeah,
Like, the
James,
reason why he an MVP candidate is because they ain't got nothing to do.
man, James
Like,
Harden, James Harden just goes to juice bars in Park Slope, bro. He's chilling,
yeah.
or he going to the Whole Foods in Dumbo. He's chilling. He minded his business, bro.
Nah, the MVP chilling
Also,
by Arugula got me in tears.
The what?
yeah, bro.
The MVP
The
chilling by the
arugula.
Arugula.
Hey,
It's
man.
wild.
That motherfucker eating kale off the MVP trophy right now.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, I feel like if if Brooklyn wins the championship, all three of them should go to the record. I feel like Ballers should still be going to record party.
I mean, it's Dykeman now, but
That would
yeah.
be last. Yeah. Like I still want Steph at the
man.
record and Kyrie at the record.
I don't know,
I feel like we still need that.
I feel like this is gonna be a
I
wild
think
summer. So if James Harden if James Harden stumbles into Dykeman, bruh.
Yes, that's the thing. He also in New York, and New York ain't really open yet.
Yeah, if New York is open during the summer, James Harden stumbles into Dykeman, bro, he gonna move there, and like he may be like, yo, I want to trade to the Knicks so I can get closer.
James, he ain't requesting no trade. First of all, he'd have to play like a defense playing for Tom Thibodeau.
I'm being sarcastic. No, definitely not. But yeah, like I just I think we'll get into KD too, because I think KD clapping back at everybody's hilarious. And like I feel like these people don't know how to react to that. But yeah, man.
He don't know how to react to that, honestly.
I mean, it's true, but him calling shit. But I guess we'll get into it. KD calling Shannon out is hilarious. First of all, like the tweet where he said, "Bruh." First of all, the tweet where KD told him, where KD said, where he said, "Bruh, like how you calling another man your unk?" Like that tweet had me on
because he on TV.
No, but then they dug up tweets where he was calling him up,
which is crazy. Like you see, KD fell victim to that because KD was over there eating. KD was over there tweeting like, "Damn, like girl, you look good like a bacon and egg sandwich." Like, so that's that's what happens. Like you gonna call out tweets. Somebody gonna bring your old tweets back up and flame you for it.
Right.
Now, granted, I don't mind that he called out Shannon because it's like, bro, y'all really are taking tweets from. Honestly, I ain't gonna hold you. I wouldn't be surprised if they stealing content from Clubhouse, or they taking tweets from Stack. What was that random white person account that people like used to retweet that were fake quotes?
Not
Stats,
Barry Zito.
Stats Talk Barry or some Barry Zito.
You know what I'm talking about, man.
Stat Talk Barry or something.
Sports Talk Barry.
But you see, in a way, Kevin Durant has been the hero long enough to where he's now the villain, because now all these guys are stealing quotes from Clubhouse or Stat Talk Barry, and these motherfuckers who don't know who talk about sports, and then he's like, bro, I never said this. Then they get offended because it's like, damn, well, what am I going to talk about? I was like, bro, I never said this. Like, take a quote I actually said and like talk about it.
Yep.
There's that thing, and a lot of people don't call out. And granted, some people aren't going to pay attention because they're like, these motherfuckers get paid to talk bullshit. Like, I don't care. But you're going to catch somebody like a KD who's, bro, KD was probably at the practice facility just sitting on the couch, sitting on the bench. He's probably getting massaged while he had his phone up and was saying, "Oh shit! Like, look what Shannon Sharp is saying." But I mean, I don't know about y'all, but I respect it. Banks, I don't know. I respect it, bro. I ain't gonna.
KD need a PR team, man. He's a wild man.
Kevin Durant is his PR. He's his own PR team.
He's a wild
KD
man.
need like people with fans. Like KD doesn't have a wife. He doesn't have a child.
Nah,
He doesn't have like he has his friends from his neighborhood. He has his hooper friends, and he has basketball. That's all he got. And then he got his brother and his mom. He has nothing to do but scroll scroll the internet and talk to everybody. You know what I'm saying? That's all he fucking does. The crazy thing about it is like Shannon blocked him. I'm just like, why are you blocking him? What are you doing?
Yeah, that was a corny
What are you
move.
doing? Because it was a corner because there was a time a while ago where Katie called that nigga ignorant, and Shannon like hopped on TV and was like, "Now usually I jump in Katie's ass with both feet because I don't like nobody because I don't like nobody calling me ignorant." And I was like, "See, that's the energy I fuck with." So I expected. I was like, "Okay, well, tomorrow undisputed, they're gonna have to talk about this, right?" But then Shannon blocked him. I was like, "Well, wait a minute,
But that's the thing too. Like
what's with this?"
somebody has to call him out for those quotes because he never said that.
Yeah, he never said that.
He never actually said that. So for Shannon to get offended, like Shannon could have easily been like, you know what? Either he says it in a segment on the next day, or he tweets it. Yo, listen, it's my fault. Like we took the wrong quote. Don't blame people. But that's the thing. That's the thing with sports media now is it's not even about facts no more. It's about narrative, shock. It turned into, bro. You know what sports talk turned into? It turned into a G-rated version of Howard Stern. That's what this shit turned into, bro. Like there's no facts, there's no honest analysis. It's just like, bro, who can say the most outlandish shit? Who can either criticize these players and try to get these jokes off that are corny. Now, granted, I'm not gonna compare myself to those people, but honestly, I'm one of those people like I could joke on players all day. Like I joke on players like I knew them for 20 years, but at the same time, like I'm gonna bring up facts and analysis. I'm gonna bring up numbers. A lot of these cats don't do that. They just say shit just to say shit just to get recognized, and there's no substance or continuity to what you're saying. And that's what it turned into with all due respect to Shannon and Skip. The only reason why Shannon is on it because Shannon loves LeBron, I think, and Skip doesn't love LeBron. That's really why they have him on there. Like, and you realize Shannon been real quiet because motherfuckers been flaming him like, bro, your brother was better than you.
Oh.
Yo, yeah, bro.
Okay.
Nah, bro. They were bro. Motherfuckers, they were coming at Shannon Sharp so hard that people were actually tweeting him like, bro, your brother was better than you.
I don't like that.
What that's like that don't work. That's not like that don't even matter because Shannon Sharp will tell you that Sterling is better than him. Like he'll say that all the time.
Which I don't like that.
Like that ain't gonna
I think it's corny.
Yeah.
But you know, it's like, bro, like that. But you see, that's the sad part of what we're at right now, where people are really fickle, and in the same way people are really fickle, the same way they don't research shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're gonna, there's no substance to anything. It's like, okay, I'm just gonna go straight at this person, but it's like, bro, that's the terror. That's what you deal with now. It's the way things are very black and white. There's no medium ground to anything anymore. It's either you know all your shit, but you're not quote unquote marketable enough, or either you're very marketable with the way you talk, but you don't know shit about the game.
Exactly. And I 1,000,000% agree.
And that's the weird
same thing with wrestling.
It's the same thing with wrestling. You got motherfuckers who do flip, drop, kick you for 20 minutes, but can't make a paper bag feel sexy. Or you got motherfuckers who know how to talk, but only do 5 moves and that's it. Like that's just the weird direction that we're in now. But yeah, I mean, Banks, I don't know if you got nothing to say because I know Banks probably producing his ass off right now, but. What you think about this, Banks?
Y'all got it, man. It's just it's a combination of the Kyrie thing. The thing I can say about that is just like in the shoot way, it's more so him being probably devastated by the Kobe incident and him gaining knowledge of self and all that shit. But it's just you throwing it upon people, bro. Like what your beliefs is, your beliefs is. Like, bro, I got different beliefs. You don't see me out here saying like, nah, my nigga, you call me a nigga, and I don't think that word should be dead. Hey, man, the NAACP tried that shit about 12 years ago, and then the great Chris Rock said, "Well, today is Easter, so I'm bringing that motherfucker back. The word nigga ain't gonna die, bro." So he can stop all that. And as far as like Shannon Sharp, it's just like it'd be cool. It should be funny, but man, he's just my main thing with Shannon Sharp, bro. You gotta get off LeBron, bro. You gotta get off LeBron nuts. Like it's too much, bro. Like I'm a diehard Bulls fan. I think Jordan is the GOAT, but I ain't gonna. It just with me. I think it's just more so with me, and it relates to pro wrestling as well. Like, bro, I don't really get excited for that shit. Like, I like it. We all watch it as entertainment, but nigga, I don't live and die by who the fuck is in WWE and who the fuck did this. Like, my nigga, I gotta go get some money. That's what I want to worry about. If they gonna cut this, who gonna cut this check? That's what they need to release. Release some more motherfucking money. Hey, I need another stimulus. Release that motherfucker to my check. Fuck what they
Hey,
talking.
allegedly that's coming. Allegedly.
Man, we outside in June. They opening up shit in California, bro. They open up shit. Florida been opened up. Vegas about to open up June 5th. It's like, bro, that shit over. But that's all it is. It's just like I just don't like. And then the thing is, it's the whole like the shit. I forgot what dude said. KD said to him, he's like, bro, you calling a grown man Like, don't you got a real uncle?
Yeah,
like,
I'm gonna look for the two right now.
It's just like these brunch niggas that be like grown ass 30, 40-year-olds. I told Nelson the other day that just be up. When is JPB coming back? When is JPB? Nigga, go make your own Joe Budden podcast. You can do the same exact goofy shit that they be doing on their podcast, bro. You can do it on your own platform. Act like high school, talking about women problems and what's going on in the business. You can do that shit on your own platform, my nigga. You don't need to wait for a 40-year-old nigga that wear motherfucking Darkwing Duck hats to say shit that you be thinking about.
Yeah, but at the same time, though, to play devil's advocate, there's a certain role that people have in life. Some people are just meant to be in the audience. Everybody ain't meant to have a podcast. And we know that. Everybody ain't meant to be a creative in that space.
Oh, but people tried it the past year.
Oh, I know. And look how many survived, right? Outside opened up, and a lot of people either sold the microphone kits that was sold out on Amazon or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like it's come on, the grass is cutting, the snakes are show. You know what that's about. Like it's it's about passion, dog. So if you don't got the passion behind doing that stuff, man, the real passion, yeah, you could attempt it, but you ain't really gonna be about it.
It ain't gonna be about it exactly. So, that's definitely a fact. Cause you got motherfuckers huddling in kitchen tables talking about women, talking about their issues with women when it's like, bro, you the issue.
Yeah.
But hey, the tweet bank you would call. So at first, Shannon Sharp said, "KD, if you want to talk to me, I'm not hard to find, but I'm not going back and forth on social media. Whatever our differences are, they can be handled out of the eye on social media." So somebody quote tweeted, "Man, punch at KD Trade 5 and his shit on he a fuckboy." And KD replied, "You calling a grown man uncle because he on TV is suspect. Have some respect for your real uncle."
Real
It's
shit.
real. It's real.
Like, you don't know these people and you call them your uncle and all that shit. Like, bro, if you don't get the fuck out here and go check on your own.
I mean, I don't really like to talk about it, but I have a personal, very close personal relationship with said person we talking about, and I don't be on that. Like,
Who
it's
is?
just
With Shay Shay?
Yeah. I mean, I don't really get into it much.
But you don't be calling him uncle. You just like, yo, what's up, man? Like,
no, I mean, in short, I actually experienced that whole uncle situation. With him because him and my pops used to play college ball together, and like we're like tight and all that stuff. So like,
I remember you telling me this too.
Yeah, so when people have been calling him Uncle Shay Shay, it's been kind of weird. But again, I don't really speak on it too much. It's just like, all right, like he's a great guy. Don't get me wrong, but
No,
it's
he's
just,
cool people, but
it's just weird to see the world like that. But I get it. I understand.
he just got caught. He just got caught in the light, like, and
Yeah, he got a platform. It's cool.
He an old country nigga.
Exactly.
He an old country nigga.
And what's crazy is, bro,
all my uncles like act like.
One thing I can say about him, the way that he talks now, trust me, it's come a long way.
Oh, when he was on CBS?
Oh no, the way he
listen.
talked on CBS, it was a long way from when we were kids.
oh, definitely.
It's been a long, again, like, so him and my dad went to Savannah State, right? And again, they played football together, and we're actually really, really close. So, like, you know, we used to take trips to Denver, go to games, and when he played for Baltimore, for the Ravens, and you know, we used to go to the games like that when we were living up there. But man, like, you know, the way that he is now, he's a lot more reserved in person. But if you know him, he's somewhat like that. But it's, you know, it's TV, man. That's why I hope that people understand, bro. It is television. At the end of the day, all this is television. It's all performative. And I think KD kind of got caught in the television light. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, you got to understand, like, when you see Stephen A. skipping on him, bro, they are paid to do a job. They have morning meetings where they have agendas for this kind of stuff. Am I saying that you don't get factual reporting in it? No, I'm not saying that. But I am saying that there is also entertainment. They have to sell television. So take it for what it's worth.
Right. If you, I just say, man, just don't watch it. Like, go watch other shit. Go do your own research. Go watch games. But you know, that's what these cats don't do. Like, a lot of people now think, you know, they could just go on wherever platform, Clubhouse or Twitter or whatever, and just be like, yeah, I'm gonna spew the same shit I heard on ESPN 20 minutes ago. It's like,
right,
that shit ain't gonna work, brother.
And that's why I was saying the banks. It's like, yes, you can create it, but everybody ain't talented or meant to create stuff. You know what I'm saying? They just not. Some people are meant to watch things, and that's just reality of it. Some people are.
Yes, that's true. I have learned that the hard way through Clubhouse, but
too.
I guess briefly to touch on, we're about to wrap up in a little bit, but briefly to touch on too, LaMarcus Aldridge retired today, actually, due to an irregular heartbeat. I mean, he played with this for a while too. I remember he miss like a good year with Portland or the Spurs. I remember, or with both teams. It was San Antonio. He missed a while with it. And I think Portland, he had a couple. He would miss like a week or two with it, and then he would come back and it'd be fine. But, yeah, I mean, he, you know, after he actually played the last game, according to him, he played his last game with, the irregular heartbeat, and he just said, you know what, I think I'm gonna call it quits. So, I mean, a lot of people were shocked. I mean, I was too, but I'm happy that he was. You know, we knew that he had the irregular heartbeat, but there wasn't really nothing talked about where it either came back or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, I think regardless whether this season ended or he didn't go or he retired after this year, LaMarcus Aldridge has had a solid career. I mean, granted.
Yeah.
I joke on him that he runs like he has arthritis, but he had really good years in Portland. Like, this is a guy who made 5 All-NBA teams. He had, you know, he was a 7-time All-Star.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for one, I think, you know, in regards to his career, he's probably like, I think he's like either second or first in regards to, you know, active points. There was a stretch where it was like from his career to like, you know, now like amongst other players, like he's one of the top point getters, rebound getters. Like, I mean, he had
it was
career.
Mid range specifically. He's second in mid range during his time in the league. He's at about 7,000, 28 points in the mid range, 82 points in the mid range, something in that area.
Yeah, he played really well. I mean, he had very solid years of Portland. Had, you know, a couple. You know, obviously with San Antonio, he got hurt and he still did what he needed to do. But
he was a top 5 at his position at one point.
At one point, definitely.
Yeah, he was definitely a top 5 power forward at one point.
And I mean, for his years, I mean, he, you know, we know the Portland Houston series where he played it. He was like the best player on that team. This is before Dame showed out and Dame ended up being what he was. You know, ended up being who he is now. So, I mean, a lot of people tend to forget that before Dame, LaMarcus Aldridge was the man at one point.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, he had a very solid career. I mean, even if he, like I said, even if he didn't play with the Nets or he decided to leave or he doesn't win a championship, I think regardless, he did have a very good career.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, can't discuss it anymore. Oh, you know what it was? He's only one of 25. Also, he's one of only 25 players in NBA history with 19,000 career points and 8,000 career rebounds,
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
which is, I mean, pretty solid. But I mean, shout out to him. I mean, it's sad that with open heart surgery, like well, not open heart surgery, excuse me, with his heart condition, he had to call it quits early. But you know what, man, we're at this time in sports and just with careers where if something is serious and a lot of these players are able to take advantage of their own careers instead of having to depend on their team or their organizations for them, to be told like, okay, yeah, retire. So I'm glad that unfortunately he suffered it during the game, but I'm glad that he's able to take care of it before God forbid something was to happen to him. So,
Right.
but yeah.
Yeah, LaMarcus is one of those basketball players that I feel like I always see him because I feel like he'll get into coaching or he'll get into assistant coaching or something like that. Because I feel like his knowledge of the game can be translated to other players. And one of my favorite, I seen this in like 2012, like one year, random year when I was in college. I seen this crazy stat. Him, Greg Oden, and Brandon Roy played 100 games together, fully healthy. Their record was 75 and 25. So, like, just imagine. Like, I feel like that team would have gotten the title fully healthy.
They more than likely could have, yeah.
They could have gotten the title, just a random run, just a random
They probably
like
would have
Dallas
taken.
Maverick run.
Remember that Memphis run that they had? They probably would have been in their space.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd seen that stat with that, and I was like, damn, really? And I'm talking about like Greg Oden was just averaging 9 and 9 with 2 blocks. So I'm just like, could you could you imagine like healthy Brandon Roy, LaMarcus, then young Dame Lillard comes in? Because remember, when Dame Lillard got drafted, Brandon Roy was only 28.
Yep.
Would only have been 20. And that would have been bananas.
That would have been.
We got to ask
crazy.
ourselves, if Brandon Roy is healthy, are they in the position to need to draft a Dame Lillard? Do they get the pick?
Too.
See, there's that. Yeah, that's true too.
Which is hilarious. With another tidbit about that draft, New Orleans had 1 and 10 in that draft, and if Dame fell to them, they were going to get AD and Dame, but instead they got AD and Austin Rivers.
Yep.
Yo, that's crazy.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, but
like imagine AD and Dame. Oh my, fighting for Rookie of the Year on the same team.
Yeah, see, AD and Dame would have been nice. And I know we snicker at Austin Rivers. We got to remember what Austin Rivers was in college. There's a reason he got picked 10 in 2012.
Oh yeah. Oh, his high school footage is bananas.
Oh, I know. I went to high school near where he was. He went to Winter Park, and I went to Mainland in Daytona, and like we played them every year. And Austin Rivers used to light us the fuck up. When I say light us up, bro, it was because he's from Orlando. Where when his pops was coaching the Magic, that's when his formative years started, and they never moved the family. Like they still live in Orlando, and especially in the off season, they all live in Orlando area. And Austin, you talking about a dog? Oh my god, that was
one of the he has one of the top. He has like a top 10 moment in Duke history with that shot.
Yeah, for sure.
Shot he hit over us. Crazy.
Yep.
But yeah, like those like AD and Dame on the same thing. As rookies would have been listed.
No, most definitely. And then I mean, actually WNBA draft I think we'll cover more in depth next week, but because I have to kind of go through the picks and see what's up. And Banks and I will cover that more next week. So I mean, if anybody else wants to come talk about that next week, y'all more than welcome to. But
Yeah, man, let me know.
my initial thoughts is that draft, bruh, whatever the mock draft was, bruh, that shit got thrown out the window after pick
thrown the hell out the window
after pick 3, bruh.
Mm-hmm.
Because there was a couple. I'm like, well, Airy was supposed to get picked. I think, if I remember correctly, I think 5 when I looked at a mock draft a couple days ago. There were some people that kind of slipped. Like Arella Garantes is probably the biggest slip that happened. Like it was Aaron Rodgers level of slip because she was supposed to be I think picked no later than 8, and she got picked number 22. I think, if I remember correctly, she got picked by the Sparks. But yeah, I mean the WNBA draft. I actually watched this draft. I've known who gets picked and I've watched here and there, but this draft was interesting as hell because there was a lot of picks, bro. That were not. There were people that were slipping that I'm like, bro, they were supposed to get picked in the top 10 that went in the second round. So I mean, I don't know if anybody else watched it, but it was a good draft. It was a pretty interesting draft.
I did, but we're gonna cover it on Guessing from the Stands next week too. But I really need to sit down, dissect what each team needed versus what they drafted, and we'll see what they're gonna do with free agency as well, before I can give an accurate analysis of the draft. But definitely, we're gonna tap in. We'll link up and see what we can do for that.
No, definitely. I mean, I do like the Liberties picks though. We got Michaela from UCLA. Got Didi. We got Didi, which is cool.
I'll ask you: how concerned are you for Sabrina?
I just hope she stays healthy.
Yeah,
but I think if Sabrina could stay healthy, this is a nice young. You got Didi who also could score, but was a defensive player of the year 3 years in a row for 3 years. So, that's always gonna help. You got a couple people who could come in who are gonna take the workload off of her a little bit. We know Sabrina's the scorer, she's the dog, but you got a couple people where if Sabrina's having an off game, or if they're obviously other team schemes are going to be covering Sabrina up and making sure Sabrina gets locked down. You can't leave Didi Riches open. You can't, Michaela's a great pick. There's plays you can't leave open. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with the upcoming season. But
right.
But yeah, before we wrap up, this is a little bonus thing. It's going to make a 5-10 minute thing. So DMX passed away last week. This actually happened literally right before we were going to do the WrestleMania pod last week, which shout out to X, shout out to Amp, shout out to Van Rich, shout out to the Black Variant for coming through last week. That was a hilarious podcast, and I needed a good laugh considering everything.
Yeah, that was definitely y'all best one.
That shit was fucking funny, bro.
I was in tears.
But I mean, we were gonna talk about DMX, but you know what? We kind of had it set. We'll save it, we'll table it, let's consume everything, and digest what happened. So I'll let y'all go first before I go. Y'all can talk about how y'all feel about it, his impact and everything. And, I'll let y'all take this first before, I'll go last or Banks will go last, whoever.
Word. Well, I'll go. I mean, for DMX, man, you're talking about an icon who changed the game. And I know that term is thrown around loosely, but we talk. What rapper do you know was putting up boy band numbers? You know what I'm saying? X was so relatable, and everybody from the streets to the hills in Hollywood loved him, and he kept it real to himself. He never sold himself out. He never, compromised who he was to make anything happen. And life gravitated towards him. I mean, I'm a person of faith, and him being that bold about his faith definitely touched me, because he made it cool to love God openly. You know what I'm saying? And again, I'm not one of those people who is overly religious and overbearing, but at the same time, I got to call it how I see it. He made it cool to love God openly, and I respect that about him. I think the world's going to miss him. I think our generation specifically and those before us are going to miss him. And, I mean, talking about a guy that a lot of the realness in his music, it gets compared to Tupac a lot. And just depending on when you were coming around, he could have been that for you or more. And I mean, yeah, even for me, My name is Earl, and he made you couldn't tell me anything when I was growing up that the biggest rapper in the world, his name was Earl. Oh man, you couldn't tell me nothing. So DMX always is gonna mean so much to me. I mean, even from a personal standpoint, my father dealt with addiction, and looking at DMX, I kind of was able to understand that it's a sickness more than anything. It's definitely not a choice, and you deal with it how the best that you can. And it definitely helped me not to be as judgmental with him. So I'm appreciative of his art. I know he knows the world loved him, and he's not like one of the people that got his flowers now while he's gone. People have been, singing DMX's praise as long as we've been around, especially on the internet and everything. He's always been beloved. So, yeah, there's a reason why his music is streaming. I don't want to hear that corny, oh, now y'all excellent. No, we always were and always have been loudly and proudly. So, shout out to X. Prayers out to the Simmons family. Prayers out to the Rough Riders. And, just everybody that he touched, man.
So I was always dope and was always hilarious to me is at the end of 1997, motherfuckers were crying and singing, I'll Be Missing You all year. And then in the beginning of 98, this bald headed nigga said, y'all niggas want to be killers. Get at me. Get at me. Like it's crazy. Like this, like niggas would sing in the club singing, I'll Be Missing You, dancing to More Money, More Problems. And this nigga came out and was like, oh, y'all murdering people? Well, come kill me, nigga. And he just one of the rare moments in music history where the energy changed. Like motherfucker, like DMX come out every video since he passed away, like of him performing or him being on that show. When he comes out, the energy shifts. It shifts. It heightens up. It levels up. And very few rappers can do that. Very few MCs, when they come out or when they step on the scene, it's different. And X was that. X was that from 98 to 03. His first 5 albums debuted at number one. That's never been done in music history. Like he's the first person to do that. He saved Def Jam. He saved it. It was in the toilet. It was in the toilet. And he saved it. He kept the lights on. I'm a man of faith as well. And like my mom to this day always preaches, the power of prayer. And you know what I'm saying? You just go on Spotify and just listen to every single prayer on every single DMX album. And still feel it. You know what I'm saying? Even in I think it was 06, he dropped Lord Give Me a Sign. He felt that. And so he was, you know what I'm saying? He was honest about who he was. He was a man that battled demons. He was a man that was very apologetic for his mistakes. You know what I'm saying? He was a man that was very honest about whatever. You know what I'm saying? One of my favorite clips ever is when like Charlamagne asked him about Drake. He was like, I don't like Drake. I don't like his voice. I don't like the way he sings. Like, I don't like anything about him. Shit like that. The video clip where he said he'll piss on George Zimmerman's face
Yeah.
and shit like that. It's just like and then we get because that Breakfast with Me was like 2012, but like from like the last 5 years of his life when he got the little weight, the little old man weight and the little gray beard,
Right.
like all those videos of him just dancing and just having a good time, and I'm just like I see him and I'm
That
just
was
like,
Light
man,
Man
look at
X. That wasn't Dark Man X anymore.
yeah, bro, like it's just like, man, look at X dancing, having a good time. And like just me selfishly, I just wanted X. Like I want to see all of my rappers, old and gray and at peace. Like I was watching the new Jamie Foxx show, and like David Allen Greer's on there with the full old man gray beard. I want to see all my rappers like that, all of them. I want to see all the rappers that I grew up loving look like David Letterman before they died, like the full gray beard with the Cosby sweater, just smiling and laughing, and like you know what I'm saying. Like the great thing, like the one thing I took for this past week is just like to know that DMX is finally at peace. You know what I'm saying? And finally at peace. And like that 8 minute Swiss Beats video where he was like, he was in what he said, like my brother was in pain because he took everybody else's pain with him and shit like that. And so like man, like there was one of the rare people, not just musicians, people in life where like there will be none before and there's gonna be none after. You know what I'm saying? Like we talking about a one of one from his music to his cadence to his flow to his spirit to his interviews to shit, nigga. That story he told on Drink Champs about the butterfly, and it's just like it's crazy. It's just like yo, there'll never be another. There'll never be another Earl Simmons. There'll never be another DMX.
All right, so I'm gonna keep it short and brief. I don't really listen to DMX like that, but just watching like interviews and stuff like that. He was a good man. Like you said, what Earl said, the music coming up, that energy. He came with that dog energy. You know, it just make you want to get up and just be rowdy with him. But you know, like I said, he's a great man. He's at peace now. Nothing but respect for him. You know, rest in peace, DMX, man.
All right. So I'm gonna give Nori his flowers as well in this regard. He had an idea. He said about a couple years ago when he started Drink Champs which was probably 2015, 2016. Time is going by fast. He had an idea initially to do a podcast, which is now a TV show, in order to give legends their flowers. That idea has given us a beautiful blast interview from an entity who at first we thought was an urban legend because you hear these stories about him and it's just beyond music. He's like an entity. It's the same thing with Mike Tyson. When I look at Mike Tyson, I don't think of the boxer. I think of this being who has been 100 different lifetimes in our eyes, and we grew up on. I grew up on X music, and you know his music means a lot to me. And maybe on a different time and a different platform, I'll say as to why two songs really have a reason to be in my life, a prominent time in my life. Uh, so it's just like what Donnie said. It's just God is the greatest author of everything because he said we hear all these stories about X, and then he got on the interview and said I didn't see a butterfly until recently. And then that interview came out February. It is now April, and he passed away about a week ago as we record this, around a week ago or so. And it's just one of them things where you run your race in life, and in this book in life that's being written by yourself, but the ultimate creator. So you just a forwarder. You get God, the best author of all time, I should say, to pen it for you, and you just giving the story as well. And you know, X gave us so much, man, just beyond music. Like I think about interviews and I just start laughing. Like when he cussed out redacted Robert, and he was talking about him not giving him the beat. Then he going off about Ja Rule. So it's always one of those things with him that's just, man, it's just you'll never get that. You just hear these stories and you don't think that actually happened and did. So you know, it's like I was sad when the news initially came out about him passing away, but towards I stopped being sad a little bit towards the end. And then when the news came, like I still think about it, but it hasn't really affected me like I thought it would. And the way he went out is unfortunate, but it's like, man, it's just one of them things where everything has a purpose and being. You know, the best thing I could think of we can do is just his kids, man, because he a legend for having 15 kids. I inspire to have 15 kids. I need to start tomorrow to get 15 kids. But you know, it's it's like, man, this one of one. This is one of the last few, man. After he goes and a few others, that's it. That's it.
Hey Banks, you know why it doesn't hurt the way that you thought it would? I think because as his fans that watch what he went through, there's a silver lining in knowing that he's finally getting rest, right? And finally not in pain. And for me, that's been what's made this somewhat, I guess, okay. If okay is the correct word, it's like we watched 25 years of this man say, I'm in pain and I'm in pain and I'm in pain. And he's not in pain anymore. And I think just having that connection, that's what's probably subconsciously not making us feel as bad about it as we would.
No, I agree with that, man. It's just, yeah, that's the main thing. I always think about the kids mainly. So that's where I'm at with it. But
All
he
right.
ran his race. That's all we can do.
Yeah, definitely. Um, I mean, it's funny that we discussed before I start the saving Def Jam story, because a lot of people try to attribute that, even though yes, Jay-Z did have a part, and Ja Rule was a tertiary role in that because Ja Rule's first album didn't come out to the year after. But it's funny when people talk about DMX say Def Jam story, because there was a certain artist who wanted to sign to Def Jam and didn't because it was going to go down, and that artist was AZ actually. And I always think about his story that he says, because he mentions, long story short, AZ dropped Do or Die on EMI. So when he was looking for a deal after, he was going to go to Def Jam. But when he went in 1996, 1997, that's when like Method Man and Redman were on top. Like I think Warren G was still there, but like it wasn't Def Jam. LL Cool J had just finally came back, but LL Cool J wasn't Mama Said Knock You Out. You know what I'm saying? Like that LL Cool J. It wasn't the Def Jam that we all knew, and Def Jam was going to go under. AZ was like, okay, I want to go to Def Jam because Def Jam has the history. And his manager at the time said, nah, Virgin Records is making this new label called New Tribe, which fucking folded after 2 years, ironically. And he literally says, like, bro, had I known that DMX was coming, like, I would have stayed. Because he said literally, like, 1997, I declined the deal, went to Virgin, and a year later, DMX comes out of nowhere and rose from the ashes and saved Def Jam. And I think it's important, like, for people to. I don't think people like we know it because we were all certain ages at one point. Like for me, I've always had an admiration and love for DMX because when I first listened to rap, like my dad was a professional musician, like as a kid. So like he was playing like Biggie and playing more of the jazzier shit. Like Biggie, I understand because if you watch the Biggie documentary, y'all remember when he had the neighbor and the neighbor told him like, he rapped in a jazz kind of flow, and that made me understand. Okay, my dad liked Biggie.
Right.
But I remember hearing certain other artists. I remember hearing Jay-Z and like Mobb Deep vaguely, like certain other people. But my dad was a Biggie fan. But I remember like my first memories of vivid rap was 1998. And like I could go on and on how 1998 the top 3 year rap history, but there was one person you fucking heard every fucking where. It was DMX. DMX had 3 songs, four feature verses, and 1 song, and had the world like, bro, what is this guy gonna do next? And I think the shift that DMX had in the music industry, I don't think will ever get replicated again. Whereas Jay-Z was the most consistent, and we give credit for that, and DMX had probably the biggest. When people talk about these people who come in emerge, I'm like, bro, these people aren't DMX. Like DMX changed a sound in one off of 3 fucking feature verses and a single, and eventually 2 albums in 1 year. But he changed so much. Like You said, like Donnie, you said motherfuckers in the club singing "I'll Be Missing You" and doing dances with Cristal bottles. And then DMX comes out of nowhere, bald head, overalls, gritty voice, gritty aesthetic, like literally like what rap is supposed to be. And I think the way I always tell people, like, go watch his earlier interviews. Go watch Irv Gotti talk about him. Like Irv Gotti used to tell people, "I want to sign DMX," and they thought you're crazy. And Jay-Z even didn't believe in him. Jay-Z at one point said that he was like, "Yo, I don't think this dude, like, yo, nobody want to hear this depression shit." And Irv Gotti said, "Listen, there's one of you in every hood," talking to Jay-Z, but he said, "There's millions of this motherfucker in every hood." And by millions of this motherfucker, he meant DMX. And I think what DMX's thing was, he spoke for the voiceless, for the people who are going through shit, but his delivery might have been different, but his message, like the message that he was trying to, in regards to being vulnerable, about being a man and being vulnerable, which we're all taught, like, you know, indirectly or directly, like, yo, don't talk about your emotions, like, yo, be a man. Like, he was vulnerable. In the same way, in the same album, DMX would talk about robbing you, killing you, smacking the shit out of you, belittling you, but at the same time, talking about spirituality, talking about love, talking about addiction, talking about any type of thing. Like the range of emotions DMX had, like, it's a lot. And it was very passionate. And like not a lot of people can translate their passion where it only fits for one group of people. Like his message was just universally felt. Like you fucking white people were singing DMX songs, bro. There are not a lot of rappers who could go to Woodstock and do a fucking, like, that clip comes out every week. Yo, y'all weren't there when DMX rocked the world. And I always tell people, don't watch the minute clip of him doing Rough Riders Anthem. That whole set is on YouTube. It's 45 minutes long. Like, bro, I watch that shit once a month for motivation, bro. I'm not being funny. Like the way that he was able to capture people, and in the same way he was DMX is an enigma, an anomaly, any synonym of that, that's what DMX is to not only music, but to people, where he was so vulnerable, yet so street, yet so, like, the white people loved him, the black people loved him, and not because he was a character, but in that character was him, though. A lot of people, they could be a facade, and then they could go, they could be a facade on the mic or in the interview, but then be somebody different on their own thing. But the thing with DMX was always himself. Even through his addictions, even when at the highest of the highs, when he sold 2 million, when he did 2 platinum albums in 1 year and went number 1 twice in 1 year, which I don't think will ever be replicated. He's the only artist to ever do that. Rap artist to ever do that, and to do 5 number 1 albums in a row, which he almost had 6 if he sold an extra 800 copies. Compared to when he was going through his lows, like DMX was always the same person. And just the impact that he had on people, like even including me. Like I listened to his Dark and Hell is Hot just casually, but there were times where I was going through some shit and that album got me through some shit. Like, listen, there's some songs honestly, like when I first heard the news, I'm sorry, like I'm going on a rant because like that's how much X meant to me. Like when I first heard the news, I felt the same way I felt when Prodigy died of Mobb Deep. Where I'm like, fuck, like another one of my favorite artists is gone. That like when I grew older, I grew to love and like understand their messages more. But then a couple hours later, like listening to people play, like I was in Brooklyn. I was outside when I heard the news. Like I called my girl, like fucked up. And like 30 minutes later, everybody, like I did not hear one car not blasting by without DMX playing. And me thinking like you said, Earl, like he's at peace, bro. Like all the pain that he took upon from millions of people, including his own, and talked about, like he's finally not living with that pain anymore. He was able to get his flowers and fulfill his legacy. His legacy is fulfilled. Like, we're never getting DMX again. I don't care if you make him out of factory, we get another bald dude with a gruff voice who barks like a dog, bro. We ain't getting fucking DMX again, bro. We're never getting that guy again. And I think I take away the fact that, like, I was glad that I was able, like, we at certain times, like, were able to experience that at, whether we were younger or older enough, or even as we got older and were able to understand his lyrics even more the older we got. Like, That dude was fucking incredible, bro. And I just think, like I said, man, DMX is one of one. Like, however you want to spit it out, he's an enigma, an anomaly, a one of one. Like, we are never getting somebody who can be the voice of the streets, yet also unapologetically be DMX and be somebody in another realm anywhere he went and still be universally loved. Like, the stories that I heard on Twitter are fucking hilarious. Like, this motherfucker was in Albanian weddings, bro. Like, this motherfucker was the Black Bill Murray, bro. I swear to God.
He impersonated an FBI agent once.
He impersonated an FBI agent with a Carmelo Anthony jersey on, bro. Who do you know does that?
That's the hardest story I ever heard.
Like, the stories are just him. Like, you know, he used to go to homeless shelters, like, just to go. You know, he be in Chicago. Like, you know, I follow a bunch of people from Chicago. They be like, yo, I used to see DMX just chilling. I'm like, what is DMX doing here? Like, bro, ain't you like got 2 number 1 albums? You know, on the west side of Chicago just chilling. Like, that was DMX. And the same way he could be at the top of the world is the same way he'll act like, you know, he's just a regular dude from the street who just wants to play with toy cars and play with dogs, bro. Like, bro, we never getting that. I don't think we will ever get somebody like this again, man. Like, there are certain songs I can't listen to still. Like, I can't listen to Slippin' or Ready to Meet Him or some of those type of songs yet. Or I Miss You of Great Depression. But, like, to feel the energy of him and for him to be vulnerable with spirituality, like, you know, there's a saying where he says, like, you know, where do you're spiritual. People say they catch the Holy Ghost in church. He said, I don't do that shit. Like, I catch the Holy Ghost when I'm performing. Like, he made it cool to be, not made it cool to be spiritual, but made it cool to understand, like, you don't have to go to church in a fucking suit and dress to the nines for God to love you and for you to pray to God. You know? You could pray to God in a stage. You go pray to God in your house. You go pray to God while you walk into work. And I think that vulnerability, that grittiness yet vulnerability he had, like, he had that balance of it. And, like, man, that shit is just, it's just special. Like, that's the best way you can describe that dude, man. Like, I don't want to go on because I could talk about all day about DMX, bro, but I'm gonna miss him. But I'm happy that he's at peace and he's not dealing with that physical pain anymore, bro.
Amen.
Absolutely.
It's real.
Most definitely. So, on that note, we out of here, man. Volume 16 of Show Your Work. Shout out to Marcel, Donny, Earl. Thank y'all for coming. We appreciate y'all. Y'all are always friends of the show. Y'all are always welcome to come back.
Yes, sir.
My guy.
Appreciate it.
Man, we appreciate y'all, man. Thank you. Most definitely.
For sure.
Everybody, plug your Twitters, man, before we get out of here. Make sure everybody follow, you know, so everybody can follow you, link with y'all. So whenever y'all want to plug, go ahead.
All right, yeah. You can follow me at Earl Got Soul on everything. I'm Earl Got Soul on there. And follow my podcast as well. Guessing from the Stands. We're primarily a sports podcast. You know, we get into the necessary topics in sports and try to have better rhetoric than you see on your daily sports shows in the morning. We really do get to it, and you know, it's a great listen, man. Definitely, y'all should check it out. We're on all streaming platforms and all DSPs.
Yeah, it's your boy Donny Luche. Follow me on Twitter at Donny Luche1. That's DLYFCH1. Follow me on Instagram, Luche. My podcast, Hanging with the Crew, is coming very, 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 very soon. The prologue episode. Link for that. Me, Banks Davis, X, and Winston shoot shit about the Snyder Cut. We got plenty more coming soon.
You can follow us, Marcel. You can follow me on Twitter, Marcel G1017, Instagram, 60 shot cell block underscore. Excuse me. I don't have no podcast or nothing, anything like that. But shit, if anybody want to play Madden 2K, you can add me on there. PlayStation, basically got a KC23. But yeah.
All right. Thank y'all. Follow me at WhoIsOriginal on Twitter. If you're on Clubhouse, I help run We Are Sports and Attack the Rim. Follow those clubs as well. I'm there Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Sometimes I'm in other rooms too. But yeah, man, tweet at me, shoot the shit. Appreciate it. Banks, the Beige Alchemist podcast, the Beige Alchemist of this podcast shit, man. Send your plugs, bro.
Man, y'all know where the fuck to find me at.
Man, I'll say it, man. Add Banks on rest too. I've been giving Banks I give Banks his flowers like twice a week, bro. I always tell him, bro, this shit is never short lived, dog. You be producing your ass off, and if anybody not gonna tell you, I'm gonna tell you.
I appreciate it, bro. I don't need you to do it, man. I still gotta, you know what I mean, keep going. Motherfuckers think this shit is sweet. They gonna get this work. Work the loaded looks. Y'all gonna get this motherfucking work, whether you like it or not.
Nah, for sure. So, yeah, man. With all that said, we'll catch y'all next week. We'll go back into more of the sports realm. You know, WrestleMania is a special time for all of us. All of us on this episode, especially the people of last episode. So we always gonna touch on that no matter what. But we'll catch y'all next week, man. We'll get more in depth into baseball, what's going on with that. You know, talk about a little more basketball and everything that's going on with that as well. So we'll catch y'all next week. On that note, we out of here.